know there ain't no stopping us. Fly without a boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross. I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shoot. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars. Didn't even get to cross.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away? Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away?
What's happening, people? Welcome to Tottenham Away, the best place to be, and you know it, on a Monday night if you're a Spurs fan. If you're not a Spurs fan, welcome as well. Love you all. Thank you for joining us as always. We have got a cracking show tonight. I know there's people out there that probably going to try and come for me tonight. They're not going to win, I tell you now. They're not going to win. We're going to talk about yesterday's game briefly. We're going to talk about Ange Ball versus some stats. We're going to talk about Brennan Johnson, Madison, Vicario. We're going to talk about the fan forum comments coming out of there tonight, and a little preview of the two games coming up in the next 7 days, Qarabag and Man United. Loads to get through. Loads of, is it controversy or different opinions? Let's go with different opinions. But anyway, look, before we get cracking, smash like, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Thank you for following the channel. Iggy, how you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, all good, my man. All good. Even better after the 2 wins. We can. It's all. Yeah, you heard right. 2 wins. The opponents. Yeah, we can talk about the opponents as well, but it's always good on the back of a Spurs win, which is something from now on I shall cherish a little bit more than I used to, because it seems it's not Well, often that it happens, so I'm happy. I'm happy with it. It was a good performance. Things to work on, yes, but you know what? We've got 2 wins, through to the next round, 3 points on the board. Things are looking a little bit better now.
JP, you were living the life, meeting Gary Mabbott on Saturday. How was it?
That's right. It wasn't too bad.
He's been levied.
No, I'll go with
Levied.
Viggs. You know, it's nice. It's always nice when Spurs win. It gives everyone a nice, happy feeling for the weekend and stuff. So to walk away from there and kind of like nail 3 points, see some goals. I was impressed with the goals, to be fair. But we'll get into all of that. But no, it's nice. It's good to get a win. Be happy. See lots of happy faces, smiling.
A lot of celebrations.
Including yours after the game.
Say again?
I said including yours.
Listen, do you know what? I had more people come up to me on the weekend than ever before, just saying, you know, keep it going, love the channel. You lot say it as it is. Love you guys. They bigged up everyone on the channel, even
We
the
love
guests.
you too, man. We love you too.
They're bigging up the guests, and just normally you meet 1 or 2, but 8, 9 came up to me during the day, and even in the pubs.
You're a celebrity now, still, man. At White Lane.
I had about 3, 4
There was
days.
this red laser as well on the side of my head, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Oh, that was a bit weird. James, how you doing, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Pleasure to be on, mate. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, congrats as well, man. I heard your boy's been scouted by Ajax.
Oh, well, we're going to go out and have a little look, yeah. So,
Nice.
but yeah, we're going to have a little look, see what happens.
A little flower in Amsterdam. Nice.
That's the wrong thing. You're on about the wrong thing.
Come on, man. I'm to your name.
I tell you what, I did a few weeks at the Ajax Academy a while back. Their coaching is sublime, proper coaching there. I tell you, so it's not a bad place at all. Ian, surprised you're not the fan. Why aren't you at the fan forum tonight? I thought you were going to be front of the line, front row.
Put my application in, didn't even get a reply. I take that as a compliment. Obviously, you can be on social media.
Still didn't get a reply either. Still didn't get a reply either, don't worry.
No.
Look, making out that you lot got a reply as if you got one, Iggy.
I would have gone, but I've got the show tonight, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way, is that where Maz and Lee are? Are Maz and Lee, is that where they're gone?
Yeah.
yeah.
Mazley's a bit of a happy clapper.
Maz and Lee, you're doing the catering. They're waiters. They're waiters. And guys in the chat, thank you for being here tonight. Smash a like, subscribe, and yes, Sophie, where is Dietrich with the Milan banter? We are here, Dietrich. Well, Iggy is
Absolute fraud. He best be in the comments tonight. You fraud, Dietrich. Even if you're not on live, I'm making sure I'm saying it so you can watch it back and you hear me say it.
Wait for a super chat first.
Yeah. We'll wait for the super chat. Look, let's start off with yesterday's game. I don't want to go too much into the game. I just want to be brief about it because I want to talk specifically about Ange and players tonight because a lot has been said this weekend. A lot, and I think it's only right we discuss it all. So. For anyone that didn't know, our starting 11, the usual back 5. The midfield was Maddison, Bentancur, Kulu, and a front 3 of Johnson, Solanke, and Son. On the bench, Spence, Dragusin, Gray, Basuma, Sarr, Bergvall, Mikey Moore, Werner, and Forster. We won 3-1. Pretty comfortable win. The only player really of threat I thought was Mbeumo for them. He was pretty good. I'd love to see him in a Spurs shirt. And the stats, we didn't dominate possession, but total shots, battered them. Shots on target, battered them. Passes, they outdid us. But the key one, clear-cut chances. We actually made some clear-cut chances. And that's been the biggest moan of the season so far. So, look, we don't have to discuss the entire game because we're going to go through each individual player, and I guess we'll discuss the game as we go along when we talk about the players. What I want to ask you is this question. It's one that's been doing the rounds. I'll go last on this because I want to show you what I think. But do you think Ange adapted in this game or not? And if so, what did you see? Someone's phone keeps pinging. I don't know what it is, but might be a computer screen, but it's quite loud. Did Ange adapt? Because a lot of people were talking about the wing backs changing.
He did. He did. You know, Udogie played wide, and that at last, and that gave Maddison all the space he needed. And what a difference in Maddison's performance! I mean, that was the best performance since before he got injured. 10 months ago. Superb. You know, we've all been battering Ange because he's completely intransigent, but he did tweak it a little bit. And we saw the results. 3 goals. It was really entertaining. We cut them apart on so many occasions. Could have been 6 or 7. And Bob was inverted as well, but not as much. Not as he didn't play as wide as Udogie did. But it's a step in the right direction.
Go on, James.
Yeah, see, I think he's changed quite a lot this whole season. I don't think it's quite clicked. But even Arsenal, when you looked at the Arsenal game, we still had 2 defenders, like 2 centre-backs. But we had 3 sitting just in front of them, and that was Porro, Udogie, and Bentancur. And you very rarely saw Udogie come inside, that he was always overlapping and then allowed Son to come inside. So I think he's actually been slightly changing things this season. I don't think it's clicked as well as it has did the weekend. But I do think he's changed little bits and pieces since the start of the season.
No, I think what I would say is that I sent you a video still, right? In terms of them warming up, and they were actually training or doing warm-ups and practice drills with 4 in a line. And I've not seen that yet, kind of like before a game. But one thing I would say is Brentford didn't really play a low block like all those other teams have. I don't think so. So I think that there was a lot more open space for us to be able to have. And I think that's also why maybe the possession stats we were looking at just now weren't so high, because it's not like the other team's just been sitting back and giving us the ball. So Brentford actually came out and kind of like they were quite open in my opinion, and obviously kind of like started off like a house on fire. I was kind of chatting to my nephew and then suddenly turned around and it was like, what the hell's happened? It's 1-0. But I mean, after that, it was
a quality strike as well, JP. It was a top strike on the volley as well. It was a banger, top bins.
When I watched it afterwards. But yeah, no, I think it was a lot more of an open game, which is why we had probably the better of it. I think, but he did actually. It looked like like we weren't so gung ho. To be fair,
Iggy, do you think he changed it? Did it make a big difference? Was it better?
I don't know. It would take me to see a few more games to see if it actually changed. He's changed it.
Well, just for this game.
At the very least, I'm saying that at the very least, there was options, as in the fullbacks, or particularly like Udogie on that side, wasn't always in the inverted. It was also there was the option of him going on the outside. It's actually trying to vary it a little bit, and that at the very least, I can say I saw a little bit more of that. Whether I'm convinced if he's changed his ways completely, and I'm talking about, it remains to be seen. I'm not fully on board on that just yet. But at the very least, I saw something different, or at least trying to vary up a little option. What I did see is Maddison play with a little bit more freedom. He seemed to have a smile on his face.
He had more space.
Yeah, there was something a bit more about him in this game. Like he played a little bit more free, up here more so than on the pitch. So again, it will take me to perhaps when we go away to Man United. You know, that will be a different kind of test. Let's see what happens there. But you want to base it on this one here. Look, the early goal, 26 seconds in the game, completely and utterly like, you know, it was like bang, we're 1-0 down. Now it's like it's not like it's 0-0 for 20, 25 minutes to see what kind of game it's at. We already set the time by going 1-0 down straight away. So it was like, you know, it was like two boxers exchanging punches. It was like quite end to end. From an entertaining point of view, at the very least, it was good to see that Brentford were coming at us. I think they smelt blood after the Arsenal game, so I think they fancied their chances, even though they were a bit depleted in their team. So at the very least, I saw signs of variation rather than complete change or of Ange complete tweaking it. I saw variation in play that was a little bit different, and it's encouraging. Whether we've made them permanently, for me, I want to see in the next 3 games if that is the case.
I think one thing I'd say, Iggy, is because that goal was so early, like the heads didn't drop or anything like that. You know, it was kind of almost, all right, let's just crack on now. We've still got 90 minutes to play almost. Whereas kind of like recently, I guess, whenever the opposition has scored against us, you can see maybe the heads go down a bit or whatever. But kind of like they just cracked on. It's almost as if it was 0-0. You know, like we used to play when we were kids, and you know, like we'd say at half time, oh, it's 0-0 still, or don't worry about it. It's like still 0-0. It's almost like that
it was a nothing to panic when there's 90 minutes still left to play. You know. But yeah,
guys, I think I don't think his tactics changed the game one bit. I don't.
I didn't hear what you said. Variation.
I'm going to tell you
a little bit of variation. Surely you want to see a bit of variation.
This is what I think, and we can have a. You know, you lot can say what you think. After 5 minutes, I turned around to my mate that I come with, and Mr. Box Office, he was sitting next to me as well. I said, we're going to beat this lot. They're there for the taking. They looked at sixes and sevens defensively. So out of shape. Their midfield looked dysfunctional. I was speaking to a Brentford fan before the game. He was saying to me, we've got too many injuries.
They had lots of injuries.
They had a kid in the middle. They had no Wissa. They had no... who's the Scandinavian winger they've got normally? He was missing. Is it Damsgaard? Something like that? He was missing.
No, he played. He played.
There's a winger that was missing for them. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know. Wissa?
Was it Wissa? Was it Wissa? And I just looked at them and I thought, we're gonna beat you. I could tell. And then when everyone after the game was saying, "Oh, Ange changed the tactics. Look at the inverted fullbacks." I saw. Oh, sorry, Norgard. Sorry, guys, I got the name wrong. Beg your pardon. Our fullbacks didn't. They still inverted. I saw Dogi inverting and Porro. Maybe not both at the same time. But when you go and look at the goals, right? When you go and look at the goals, for me, it was clear what happened in this game. Okay, if you look at the first goal, you can't see a Dogi, you can't see Porro. They're not even in the attack. What I can see is those red arrows. How much space have we got out wide and to get in behind? If you go to the second goal.
We did win that one up top, though, didn't we?
Yeah. But the point is, JP, look at the space out wide and to get in behind. And no Dogi, no Porro in that one either. And look at the third goal. Space out wide, plenty of, space to get into out wide. When we played Newcastle and when we played Arsenal, these red lines were taken up by Gooners or Newcastle players. So the way Brentford were defending was perfect for us. That space in behind, any team that does that to us, even Werner exploits it, Johnson will exploit it, Cooley will exploit it.
I disagree there. Timo Werner couldn't exploit anything.
Look, last season he did once or twice. I'm not saying I don't like him either. But my point is, if you've got someone with pace, at least they can run into that space, whether they do something or not. And in all these goals, no Dogi and Porro, no Dogi and Porro, no Dogi and Porro. So for me, they didn't impact any of the goals. We just basically either won the ball high up and pounced and got in behind the space, or we counter-attacked and hit them, and they were out of shape. So I don't get what fans were saying. You know, a lot of channels have been saying, "Oh, but Ange changed it." No, I just think Brentford defensively did the complete opposite of what you should do. They gave us the space in behind, and they gave us plenty of space out wide for our wide players.
I just don't think they got forward as much, and I think that made us a stronger base, which allowed our attacking players to attack the space rather than be congested. I thought they did better. I think they did more attacking work for us by defending, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think even if just looking at your examples in those pictures where you've drawn those lines, and obviously made the point that Adogi and Porro were not there, that already seems a change, doesn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, JP, them not inverting high up, I don't think changed our. I don't think that's why we scored these 3 goals and why we were better. I think the main reason we scored these goals.
We pressed that by the edge of the box, man. That's why we ended up scoring the way we did. We nicked the ball.
Yeah, but Iggy,
one of them was their mistake. Like literally misplaced the pass.
But the point is, when we won the ball, whether it was deep, in the middle, or high up, there was
they weren't part of it. They were probably more defensively attentive. They were probably more in line with Romero and Van der Ven.
Go watch Newcastle and Arsenal. They were very compact.
No, you're talking about the opposition defence, right? As opposed to Adogi and Porro.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the reason we were able to win is because the opposition defence was disorganised and they played the worst way against us. Us, give us the ball.
There was a lot of space at the back for sure.
Yeah.
So it's probably more to their demerit than it is our merit. Is that what you're saying?
No, because we still took advantage of it. But this is a pattern I see when we play. Look, let me move on to this because I think this makes it all relevant. Okay. This was shown on Sky Sports. Okay. So average possession were first in the league. Crosses were first. Passes into the penalty box were first. Shots on target first. Shots in the final, touch in the final third first. But we're 10th. How is that possible? And then when you look at the league table since October last year, we're mid-table, which is exactly where we are now. So our average results since October is exactly in sync with where we are now, 10th. But yet, possession stats top, crosses top. But why is that happening? Why
not enough W's?
I mean, possession stats is
not enough
easy,
W's.
Well, I think what it is when you play the bottom 10 teams, right? They don't have as good of players, and they're not maybe as well drilled if they've got a couple of injuries as well, like Brentford did. So we can exploit them. I don't fear playing any of the bottom 10. Maybe Nottingham Forest because they're in a good reign of form at the moment. That could be tricky, but I think we beat all of them. But when you play the top 10, they've got typically you'd expect them to have better managers and better quality players, and it showed. Newcastle was so disciplined at the back, we struggled to break it down. And Arsenal, they're probably the best defensive team in the league. We couldn't break it down. And they played a different game. Brentford actually were quite open at times. And I thought that they played a silly game against us. Everton were a joke when we played them. But I just feel that it's not the tactics that won us this game. I think we just played a team that we're better than. And that's typical of why we're mid-table over 9 months and currently now. It's our inability to do it against the top 10. And fans, like, look, I'll show you. There were fans straight after it. Certain people said Ange out with their full chest last week. And Ange Ball is back. And, you know, Sonny, bless him, always does his usual. How Postecoglou, silenced his critics. Listen, I think this is a madness because I'm showing to you here the tactics. I don't believe tactics are winning us games against Everton, Coventry's, and Brentford. I think we're supposed to beat them. We will always beat those teams because we've got better players and we've got. I think we're a little bit more able to adjust with a couple of injuries compared to maybe a Brentford and Everton and a Coventry. Our goals are coming when teams aren't defensively as good, which is typically the bottom 10. But when we play the top 10, you saw it this season, Newcastle, Arsenal, we came unstuck, which is why the next 2 games, I think, are so important. Because let's see now what happens.
Levels will go
So
up.
I thought we were better than Newcastle, man.
That's what
I
I was
know
about
what
to
you're
say.
saying. I thought we was better than Newcastle. We didn't get the
0
points at
clear-cut
Newcastle.
chances, you know. Why?
Yeah, but you're taking
We
one.
didn't
You're taking
finish the
one part.
chances.
Same
We
happened
didn't
against
take our
Arsenal.
chances.
Same happened against Arsenal, though.
Yeah, but if you compare, say for example, you compare this season to last season, yeah. Everybody this season said we're going to concede to Everton on set pieces because we're rubbish at set pieces and they're good at set pieces. We
I never said
didn't. So no, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying as a general. Everyone says we're terrible at set pieces. Everton are great in the air. Blah blah blah. We didn't. Last season against Newcastle, we got absolutely battered, like absolutely battered. And this season, I thought we were better than Newcastle this season. And same with Arsenal. People are saying, "Oh, we deserve to lose to Arsenal." We not that we went toe for toe because we didn't create anything, and I get that side of things. I do, but it wasn't like they come to our ground, battered us, and left. Like I think that whereas last season, even though it was 3-2, let's be honest, they battered us, and then there was like 2 goals towards the end of the game. And I know stats don't prove it too much, but as the whole watching the game on the eye, it was nowhere near as bad as last season. And that's why, for me personally, I think that we are making progress, and I do think he's adapting certain things.
Okay, right. So progress on the eye, but not progress on the stats or the league table. And I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. We did have Newcastle pinned back, but I think the smart managers and the smart teams accept that, and they know they can pounce on us. Look,
We didn't take our chances though against Newcastle.
Yeah, but Iggy, why is it? Okay, then explain to me this, right? And this isn't still us being negative. I'm just laying down what the facts of what I'm seeing.
We were
We
better
deserve
than
to be.
Listen, we were better than
deserve to be
Brentford. They were depleted. We caught them at the right
100%.
moment, and we
played
was
well.
like, yeah,
we played well as well. We played well as well.
We have
My
to
point
give our
is this,
team
though.
credit when we win, though, as well. We can't just always.
Agreed.
It's just almost what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're saying it, but there's a feeling for me that when we don't play well against and we lose against teams because we were shit. When we win, it's because they were shit.
Right. I also get the feeling.
We don't get merit. We only get merit when we lose, but we don't get merit when we win.
I also get the
there's
feeling,
an
though.
element.
Yeah,
I'm not
but I
saying you're
also
saying that. There's a feeling of that.
Iggy, hold on.
I'm not agreeing with it.
Hold on a minute. These types of accounts, and there's loads of them. They're the ones I quickly
But
say.
that's the other level.
I also get the feeling when we beat weak oppositions, masterclass, Ange ball.
No. That's just getting carried away with a win. That's all it is.
Iggy, no, but what you said about this feeling, it works both ways. As soon as we play a top 10 team and we don't do well, it's a rebuild. It's a process. Rome wasn't built in a day. So what I'm trying to do is bring some balance to this. I know it might come across like I'm being negative. I don't care.
I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying there's a feeling.
I'm not saying you are. I'm going by what you said about there's a feeling it might feel that way. Yeah, not you.
Yeah.
Whoever. What I'm saying is this. There's a reason we create 0 clear-cut chances against Newcastle and Arsenal, but against Everton we create plenty.
Because they're more defensively attentive. It's obvious.
That's my point. Where's Ange ball? Where is all this statistical wonderful stuff? When we play the top 10 teams,
you will only get that answer, the Ange ball that we're talking about, that everyone's in the discovery of this Ange ball. That will only happen over a course of a team. If we were to go to on a run of games where we pick up positive results, not even all wins, but just consecutively 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row where we consistently pick up points in those games, be it wins, draws. We go on a run of games where we go unbeaten. Then in that time, we'll hopefully see a pattern of play, whatever you want to call it. If you want to call it Ange ball, call it Ange ball. You will see a pattern of play of the way we're trying to play, which is resulted in us picking up positive results. Then perhaps we can go on and call it the Ange ball, and call it whatever you want, and get a little bit more happy about it. Right now, we haven't done enough to call it anything. We haven't done anything at the moment. We've done a
Can
win
I-
against Coventry, a win against with Brentford, which is a good. It doesn't matter. A win's a win. I don't care if the team was depleted. I don't care if the blah blah blah. A win is a win.
Play who's in front of you,
However, when we have to do it on a consistent amount of games to call it Ange Ball or whatever it is that you want to call it, until then, let's keep calm.
Iggy,
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question still? So you know, Newcastle and the Arsenal game, yeah. If you took out, say, Heung-min Son from left wing and Johnson from right wing, and replaced them with Eze and Elise, just because they're two players we was linked with, do we still lose those games and create no chances?
So tell me the restructure again.
So just as an example, obviously it was linked with Eze. So say we'll swap Son for Eze, and then you swap Johnson for Elise. Just say because easy things. Do we still create zero chances in the Ange system, or do we start creating chances and clear-cut chances and scoring more goals?
I would say we create more clear-cut chances and we score more goals.
Because what this is where my personal opinion on Ange is, I think I think Son, Johnson and stuff, they're like bottom half of the table players, and they're proving it by the way they're playing. So if you swap those for sort of top half of the table players, you create more, you score more. So in theory, it's not necessarily the Ange's system that's the problem. It's the players that he has available in those positions that's the problem.
Both.
Because
It's both, James. It's both because.
But you just said we create a lot more clear-cut chances if we swap those two.
Yeah, but that doesn't fix the tactical deficiencies of our defense, right? So for me, the two big questions I've got about all of this, which is why I don't get carried away with no Ange Ball, Ange-in, and all this stuff. I'm in the middle. I'm like, you cannot tell me this system works throughout the course of a season with the players you've signed. I'm not convinced one bit by the signings, right? So this is where I agree.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right? Which is why, yes, if we had Elise, Kvaratskhelia, Eze, I think the system suddenly looks a lot better. However, even if that's fixed, we're going to be in those really, really tight games where we need that defence to be on point. And that high line, no matter what we think, it gets caught. And it's not just us. This weekend, I saw Brighton get opened up with that high line against Nottingham Forest. I saw West Ham get absolutely battered by Chelsea because they this obsessive high line. A lot of teams are doing it. It's not just us. I thought it was just us. A lot of teams are doing it, and they're all getting found out. Unless managers just learn to just drop back a bit, I think it's not just us. A lot of teams are going to get caught out. So if Ange tweaks his system in certain games, as in the defensive line, and we sign better quality players, I get what he's doing. But right now, so many fans are getting carried away. And I'm like, we do it against teams that aren't great. Like, when are we going to do it against the top teams?
Still,
yeah.
If you're comparing this year to last year, and I'll come on because I agree with what James said before in terms of Anegi about the performances year on year. Brentford last year at home, Brentford home. This year we won both. Newcastle we lost both. Arsenal at home we lost both. Everton at home we won both. I can't think about the promoted side last year. I think we probably did well. I can't remember, but taking those four teams, same amount of points, 6 points out of 12, but the performances were much, much better. Which is where I agree with James and Iggy. I think the fact that the stats are very good it can only be a good thing, and it just shows that we're in the game more. We're not, last year, particularly from Christmas, there were so many games. You look at them: Brighton, Fulham, Liverpool, Newcastle. We were just battered. We just, we didn't have a chance. We had a small amount of possession. We did nothing with it. We weren't even in the game. But at least this year we've started off slightly better, and
Slightly better. Last season, we were undefeated in Tottenham.
No. In terms of
teams that we've
against like Newcastle and Arsenal, performances,
We didn't play Newcastle and Arsenal.
We were fantastic at the Emirates last season.
At the Emirates,
No,
I'm comparing like for like.
The same game
that was later on in the season, wasn't it? That we were just falling apart.
And in fairness, I was one who criticised Romero for the goal that Gabriel scored, but he should have had a foul for that. In any competition, you come in the back of someone and you push them to get to a corner. It's a free kick.
Well, I think the actual letter of the law is: do you use that? Do you use force to gain an advantage? And he used force to gain an advantage. So technically, it's a foul, but it's soft. Romero shouldn't be allowed to be.
I think it was weak, man. I think it was weak. I think Romero.
He shouldn't allow himself to be in that position.
In modern day football,
we'll come on to that in a minute. I just want to focus because we're shifting. I want to focus on Ange ball, right? Because do you know what?
There ain't no Ange ball, man. There's nothing. We have seen nothing to suggest that Ange ball is even a thing. It ain't, man. We got to stop it. At the end of the day, we won. It was a good win. We went through to the next round. Should be happy about that, but we have done nothing. At the end of the day, this is trigger happy. People are buzzing because it hasn't happened in a while. We won two games in a row, and we always elevate to the extremes to try and hit these myths and clickbaits and titles and this and that. We've done nothing. We haven't done nothing. We go and beat Brighton, and Man United away. Yeah. Then we can start talking, say, you know what? All right, maybe something is changing. Not even then I'll be like, maybe something has turned or maybe something has changed for the better. But until we start hitting these milestones, like winning at Old Trafford, when was the last time we done that? Jose? When COVID? When Jose, under Jose. That's the last one. Now, if we go and hit that milestone, go and win at Old Trafford, go and get me a good result at Brighton, then maybe I can think, you know what, I can sit back here and we'll come on here on a Monday night thinking, you know what, maybe come in saying, but until then, but I agree with you. In part, I agree, but there's also, there is a section, I think it happened with any fan base, there's a section of a fan base that go too far with, do you know what, this is happening, that's happening, and that's happening. No, man, we haven't done anything. We're just about scraped against Coventry. We got lucky against Coventry. We got lucky against Coventry, which let's be honest, it's not too often where we do get the good fortune of actually winning the game we probably didn't deserve to win. But we did against Coventry. That's good. We're done. It's done. And on Saturday we did what we had to do against Brentford. I don't care if they were depleted. I don't care if they were on a bad run of form. I don't care about any of that. We did the job, and that's what we got to do. Take advantage of situations that favour us the same way other teams do for them when it favours them. It's as simple as that.
See, one of the things I would say, just listening to James and listening to Ian about us playing better this season against those teams than last, I don't know if I totally agree, because what I would say is that I don't think our football's much better in those games. I feel we've had more possession, and literally I feel that those teams, like Newcastle pretty much played a low block. Leicester did exactly the same. Obviously, we can discount Leicester. Arsenal, they just played that low block. But it's because I feel they know how to play us now. And every team's almost cottoned on to the fact that let's be tight, let's drop back, let's give them the ball. They can have number one possession stats and stuff like that. That's where would you say is the most that we have that possession? It's either outside of their penalty area or on the halfway line, going backwards and forwards, across. So I don't think the football's better. I think basically your position have said, you have the ball and try and break us down. We'll just try and counter us.
That is a successful way of beating Spurs.
Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City, they'll come at us. They'll go toe. They'll be fireworks.
Stem off what JP is saying. Basically, when any team could try to play the block, right? And this is where quality comes in. When we play the teams like Brentford, right? We have a little bit better in quality. We're going to score. We're going to win those games. The true tests are going to be the teams that say, okay, keep all the possessions, say Man United, right? And they have a little bit better attack, right? Marcus Rashford, if you give him, it's a good chance he's going to score, right? Those teams are going to be more of a challenge, right? Chelsea, Jackson seems like he's finding his form with Cole Palmer, right? They're going to be a problem, right? The Chelsea's, the United, the Brightons, the Liverpools, those are the teams where now you're going to test this.
Aston Villa, they look pretty good.
Ali Watkins, could have scored 2 against Arsenal. Like, those are the teams that's going to separate, and we're going to get a true analysis of Ange Ball, because the teams like Brentford, Everton, it's Town, right? We're going to get a result. We'll get a result. So, I think everybody is true to a point. When we play the shit teams, we should be able to handle them. We play the meh teams. That could be the teams that are between 6 and 12. Those are the games where anything can happen. And against the top teams, it haven't really done well. And teams who are traditional London rivals, we haven't done well.
See, for me, I think if you're big enough to criticize a team, you need to be big enough to give them praise. You can't always say, "Oh yeah, but they were a bottom half team." If you think you played well and you did well, but you still have to give us credit for that. You can't just say we only won that because of them.
We played well. We played well on Saturday.
We did play well.
Let me.
We had the opportunity to play
well. I'm just saying it's the better teams like the Chelseas and the Liverpool, stuff like that.
Guys, we spent £365 million. Brentford lose players. They have to replenish them. They don't have the budget we do. The fact is, we are levels above Brentford as a football club. So for me to sit there and go, wow, yay, excellent against Brentford, guys, I can't do this anymore. I understand.
I get
why
that,
other
but
fans do it. I'm not chasing a career.
They're doing it to piss people like you off, mate. That's why they're doing it.
Give me a job. I say it because I see it. James, we only do well against the teams that are in the bottom 10.
No, look, I agree. The stats of that as of late are true, but I think you're reading into people like that know what they're doing. They know what they're putting out there for you to see. They want your reaction. That's why they're putting that. That's what I'm saying.
Look, if we get, let's say we draw at Man United and we beat Brighton and we play really well, right? It's not a lucky win. Like, we play really well, like we did against Leicester in the first game of the season or Newcastle away. Then I'll say, hold on a minute, Stel. You've got to rein it in a bit because you've been saying A, B, and C, and actually the opposite's now happening, mate. So I'll rein it in. But what I'm afraid of is we're doing it again, where we play Everton 4-0. Sonny's amazing. Maddison was great. The team were brilliant. What performance, clean sheet. And then we play Arsenal, Newcastle, and we come out with nothing. An awful performance against Coventry, one of the worst I've ever seen. Lucky to go through.
Agreed.
Then we beat Brentford quite convincingly, deserved to win. There's a lot of players we are going to praise shortly as well from that game. And then we go and play Man United and Brighton, and it unravels again. And it's like, well, are we just going to do this whole season of table tennis where people that talk the way I do are constantly having to defend ourselves when we beat weaker teams, then I get to hit back when we beat the top teams. And then the fans that think, yeah, we're brilliant against the bottom teams, but it's a process when we play the top teams. Where's that line of where we as fans just say, where's this middle ground where we can just be honest about?
I think you have to look at it still and say, we know the level of our players, right? They're not to the Ezes and people like that we could have gone in and got, right? But playing against those top level teams, you can probably see the deficiencies. However, when they play against like your Brentfords, like they did at the weekend, they did what they needed to do and they did it quite well. So I get what James is saying, and we do have to say, do you know what? They held their own, they took their chances. And as you said, we're going to give some players praise in a bit. They deserve it because on the opportunities that they had, they were allowed to flourish, right? Whereas when we play Arsenal and Man United, they're not. They're like pretty stifled, or they come up against a higher level of opponent, which maybe their skill set's not there for. Do you know what I mean? So they could have been pants against Brentford and won 1-0. And then we would have been on their backs, right? Whereas they played their football to their capabilities and did really well at the weekend, which is where we say, well done, boys.
And I think, JP, that's where we are. Let's just keep it in context, in perspective. We beat a Brentford team. They're also missing Tony's replacement, Thiago, who joined and got injured for the season, I think. The centre forward that came in from Belgium. It was a good performance. It was 3 goals. It was 3 points. But tougher test around the corner. We should be winning those games at home against teams like Brentford.
It's not really a top 10, bottom 10, all that palaver. It's just a case that we played a team that were under par and we beat them quite convincingly. There's no rah-rahs about it.
Listen, we're not going to do anything in the league this year. I cannot see us.
What do you mean?
Can't see us finishing top 4. Can you?
What do you mean?
I see us winning it.
Do you think we're going to finish top? I can't. Never in a million years.
We're winning it.
City and Arsenal.
Listen, I just think we should take it one game at a time, man. I think. Listen, I'm not saying. Listen, the high probability and that is that we're not. All right, let's just put it out there. But I'm saying I think we're just looking too far ahead. I think we should have these conversations about top 4, 6, 7. Is that when we get into that, March stage?
Half of the season.
Too far away from now. All I can say right now is like, let's take it a game at a time, because I don't think we're in a situation at this moment in time we can look too far ahead. One game at a time. We've got two really good matches coming up against Brighton and Man United just beforehand. So for me, they're the ones that the ones that we need to be looking at, and only, like I said it earlier on, only if we get some good results in those in those grounds, then when I can start to believe that something is changing. I'm not there yet, but I'm happy, and I said it from the off. I'm happy that it's been a long while since we've come away with 2 wins back to back. However way they come, the reasons of it, why they come, I don't care about any of that. We got the 2 wins that we needed to get.
There's a number of players I want to talk about from this game for various reasons. The first one, of course.
Was he looking at you?
He was looking at you, and
the amount of messages.
Well, he's doing a crowd, didn't he?
Yes,
Johnson shush, Tottenham away, right? The amount of messages I got. And in the stadium, they sang his name as well. There's only one Brennan Johnson. There's a form now going around, an apology form that apparently anyone who's criticised him needs to sign.
Murray.
I mean, that's a joke. That's got to be a joke. It's not. That can't be.
Look who's on the bottom corner.
Huh? I can't. He is better looking than me. Yeah.
Check out Murray.
I know.
Murray, yeah. Murray's got it.
But that's got to be a joke. That can't be true.
The thing is, the reason I want to talk about Johnson is because he has had a lot of stick. Some of it too far, like personal, directly on his account, and he's had to delete some social media accounts. He scored the winner against Coventry. He scored an excellent goal against Brentford, and the fans went nuts. Johnson's dominance secures the win, shutting them up. Gareth Bale retired in 2023. Johnson signed, so they're putting them on a par. Gareth Bale.
Come on, she's got to be joking as well. We can't be serious, man.
Brennan drinking Tottenham away tears. Well, it means Stelios tears. Let's be honest about it. I'm Anjin Johnson in. If you don't like it, fingers up.
I got something to say. First of all, Mari.
It was relentless. It was relentless, man.
So I have something to say. Mari stepped away for a second. First of all, I'm on this show here to tell all you frauds who have been making fun of me. You being number one, Stelios, you're a fraud. Lee, fraud. Math, fraud. And the biggest of all those frauds is Mari saying that I can't come close to Jermaine Defoe. Well, you know what? I'm better than Jermaine Defoe, right? You could
Is
call
it
me
me or Johnson's lost his Welsh accent a little bit there?
you could call me Jermaine Jackson, bitches. All right. The only one I show love to is Iggy, of course. You know, everybody loves Iggy. Forza,
Everyone got a
we love.
mask except for
But yeah, to let all you haters know that this is only the beginning of the rise of my world class level. Just to let you frauds know. All right. I'll let Marv back on, but just to let you guys know that you guys continue to criticize me and now I'm shushing you. All right. Take that and I'm gonna show up against those big games. Watch me. 35 GA total. All right. You are frauds, especially you, Stel, and Mari. I'm out.
You know what? It's been building. It's been building.
Thanks, Brennan. Thanks for coming on.
Brennan, I know you represent Welsh, but that accent, tell you.
I don't know where he came from. But
The thing for me is people can't just like I like to look at it as like game by game. People can't just judge him for his game. They have to just make an opinion or abuse someone. He's been crap up until now, no doubt. But he had a good game. So you can say he had a good game.
Did
But
he have a good
it's
game?
almost like
Did he have a good
almost
game?
like people I thought he had a good game, yeah.
He missed 2 chances.
the first half,
It doesn't mean he didn't have a good game. If someone misses 2 chances, does it mean they haven't had a good game?
Other than scoring that goal, I don't know what he did that was great.
I actually thought he was making a lot more forward runs, which was allowing Maddison more space and time to turn and look forward.
Because there was space, wasn't there, against Brent? This is what I'm saying.
This is what I'm saying. You can't take that away from him because there was space. He still did it. So you have to give him credit for doing what he did.
Then you need to praise Werner when he makes runs into the space as well, James.
Nah, fuck Werner.
No, see, this is the problem now. You're so double-standard.
No, anyway, I don't care.
You're so double-standard.
Werner could score 12 goals from the halfway line against Arsenal away, and I still ain't rating that guy.
You were talking about the runs, right? Werner makes runs. We don't always pass him, right? He makes runs. I'm not going to sit there and praise someone that makes a run. I'm going to praise someone that beats a man, puts in good crosses, scores goals, creates chances, creates big chances. The reason I praise Johnson for this game is he skipped past his man with a turn of pace, and the finish was on point. I can't disrespect the finish. It was superb. And I'll praise him for that. I think it's an
Gareth Bale-esque.
Yeah, it was Gareth Bale-esque.
Are you comparing him? Are you? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're? Are you comparing?
Why not? Let's do it. I also saw him. Miss 2 easier. I saw him miss 2 easier chances, and that's.
I agree.
One thing I would say still is before he scored that goal, he had a shot similar in probably exactly the same position that he put wide. And I think the benefit for him is it looked like he took his time a little bit more with the second shot and got it in the corner.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Listen, bottom line is in the last week he's scored some 2 cracking goals in a week. He obviously picked up a bit of confidence on the back of the Coventry game. Why wouldn't you? He scored right at the death, and he's taken it into the Brentford game, which is a perfect game for him to go and add himself another goal. That's absolutely fine. That's if we always say here, and I'm sure many others have as well, that in that bottom 10 teams is where he comes alive. He just needs to carry on doing that, and then eventually we might actually have a proper right winger who can do it against the top half of the team, and he can rest it. And then we'll be in a situation where the top player plays against the top 10, and you have Johnson playing against the bottom 10 to allow the top player get his rest in against those bottom 10s, so he can do the business then. Once we're in that situation, we're winning. So,
Wow.
So we've sorted out the right wing player to play the bottom 10. We just need to find another one now to complement him to play against the top 10 teams. Look, man, at the end of the day, he's scored 2 in 2. In front of goal, it looks good. He still needs to do a bit more in taking on the man, one-on-one situations, putting some balls in the box in a regular basis. Once he starts to do that, then again we start. And then again, I'll go back to saying it. Man United coming up, Brighton coming up. If he can do it there, as a good performance there, adds a couple of goals there, maybe. Do you know what? Again, it might be a good turn
Then
point.
fans can come
then,
for me. Because
yeah,
if he
but
doesn't,
but no, it's not.
I'm going to be shushing a lot of people. There's going to be a cut out of me in an empty field going like that. Shh.
Do you know what?
Yeah, but,
Johnson has scored. Warren, Johnson has scored 2 winners in the last week.
yeah,
He's taken both goals well.
they were good goals.
He took him very well. And you know what? And we're all very happy that he scored them.
And
So,
Coventry goal was really good.
let's get credit.
Let him finish.
Let's hope that he mirrors Anthony Gordon, who didn't have such a great first year, but came alive in his second year at Newcastle. And let's hope Johnson does the same.
Well, I was gonna say I commend them, and it's all in fun, doing this clipboard. I was bored at work, but
make sure your boss isn't watching, Murray.
No, but no. The thing is, I like people. I like people to get the confidence, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit different. I want the best for Tottenham, right? I want us to go to a level that we have never gone before, right? If we believe in Ange, she's going to take us to a level that we've never gone before. And over the weekend, I'm not saying he's near the quality of like Yamal because he's special, but I'm looking at Savino for Man City and just look at him like destroy Calafari for that beautiful assist to Haaland. And I'm watching these guys and I'm seeing the ingredients of wow, this guy, even Cole Palmer, and they have that it factor. And when I see Johnson, it's more like 8 attempts, he'll get 1 goal. And so, is he the player that's going to take us to that extra level? When it comes down to it, is he going to be that type of player? And the question is, I don't know. I think of other players playing, right? I think of a Marcus Rashford who are going to play. And I'm critical of Marcus Rashford. And Marcus Rashford has done a lot of good things, but even then I'm like, he's just, I rate him as a meh player, Marcus Rashford. So when going back to Johnson, it's like, how much levels can this guy can go? And I'm being real honest, I don't think he could go. Like I said, I hope to be wrong. But for our club, there has to be better than Brennan Johnson. That's good. He's scoring back-to-back goals.
Murray, don't you think he's a good player, right? When there's acres of space that he can run into and he can use his pace, then he can actually be a good player.
He'd probably be really good in a counter-attacking team. He'd be really good in that team.
He's serviceable. Like if you told me if he comes off the bench,
a possession-based team that's going to have to come up
from
with
the
more counter-attack.
If he comes from the bench and does his job the last 20 minutes, maybe score, maybe contribute, okay, fine. Like I said, he's 23, still, maybe, but when you're telling me that he is the winger that for the next 5-6 years, he signed for 5 years, that's going to take us to the extra level, right? We saw him against Timber, right? It was like a man versus a boy. Timber is a unit. He couldn't he couldn't do anything,
Timber's young as well. Timber's a kid as well. He's young.
And so for me, I have to expect the next 4 years him going up against Timber, whereas with Yamal, at least though he's a twig, Yamal could school him.
That's not being horrible, but that's almost like an irrelevant conversation. Is he going to take us to the next level? But that's not down to him to make that decision. That's down to Levy. Nothing he can do. Like you're talking about Yamal, who's one of the best in the world at the moment, one of the most important players. But you can't compare the two. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair to bring in Levy.
Why not? Gareth Bale's one of the best in the world.
Listen. Levy has nothing to do with the on field. I'm
We
talking
can go
about
there,
next
James.
level.
We can do it. We can do it.
Take us to the next level. Being a player that says, "Wow."
Levy has everything to do with why Brennan Johnson's on the field.
No,
The guy signed him.
he signed him, but I'm talking about on the field. As much as I hate
People say Ange wanted him, though. People say it was an Ange signing.
Yeah,
People say.
This is level, man.
I just don't think that's fair. Even bringing that up in that conversation, and I've never heard anybody say that Brennan Johnson's going to take us to that next level. So for me, I just think that that's kind of putting him into a bracket that no one's ever put him in.
James, you not understand what I'm saying?
But that's because so many fans are saying that he's shutting the doubters up.
Hold on, let Murray finish now.
No, James. It's about having players that could take you to the next level. Players that could take you to the next level, which is winning trophies, right? Right. There's a level, top 4, and then above that there's winning trophies. Right? Is he truly a player? And that's not him, but the rest of the 10 players. Right? Is Vicario a keeper that could take us to the next level? Is Romero is Son right now? You know,
but that's what I'm saying. We're talking about Brennan Johnson. Now you're talking about the squad as a whole. But we're talking about Brennan Johnson, not what Daniel Levy's going to spend and who he's going to bring his money in. That's two different conversations. Yeah. Of course, I don't think Brennan Johnson's going to win us trophies. But that's why I my hate towards Daniel Levy for bringing someone like that in the first place. If you want to win trophies and win the league and be at the top of the table, you can't buy people like Brennan Johnson. I've said it on here loads of times. You can't have players like Son in your team anymore. He needs to be coming off the bench at best. You can't be doing that. That's not what big teams do.
I agree with you, what Johnson. I'm just saying his talent, right? His talent level, he doesn't take us to the next level. Whereas I go on X, I don't know if you're on X, there's people that say he's the player. He is a guy that.
Well, I'm not being horrible, but if you're listening to opinions off of X, then that's questionable.
But there's other channels. But you know, there's other channels.
They at us. They put at Tottenham away. At
Chillian. But they're the people that you should just be like, yeah, good one, mate. You obviously ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
You say X, James. You know, there's other channels who are bigging up Brennan Johnson like he's the greatest thing ever. There are other channels that
I agree, but I also believe that they do that. I also believe that they do that to get the views in, and that one bulletproof. You've just advertised his channel to all your 20,000 plus subscribers. So he's done what he wanted to do. He's got out of that what he needed to get out of that.
I just saw the most outrageous comment.
I don't mind helping the other channels though. I'm happy to. I'm a community man. I'm a community man.
You got love for everyone, right?
Big up still. Loving the community.
Listen, they're all welcome to come on here. Everyone's invited. So
TKL, your football knowledge, I'm sorry, is the most idiotic. You know how many assists that guy has? It's not all about goals. The GA that your mom has for a 6-year-old
most quality.
Same winning.
TKL. He's 16 years old. I think 16 years old, man.
Just getting back on.
What we're talking about here, man.
He leads all of Europe in assists. Come on, TKL.
Just getting back onto Brennan Johnson. What I would say is that for £50 million, I expect more.
Same.
Yeah, but
he didn't put himself. He didn't price tag himself.
I'm not saying that I expect more from him. I expect more from a player that we pay £15 million for.
Whose fault is that?
His level's down here. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming him.
For clarification, JP, I'm not attacking what you're saying.
Yeah.
For clarification, he didn't say I'm worth 50 million. Yeah, that's the price that we paid.
We're the fools
for him. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not on Johnson. The 50 million price tag.
What I see in him and his personality, to me, reminds me of, like Sessegnon as well. Whereas they're kind of almost scared to let go, or scared to go for it, or scared to have a bit of arrogance to boss that area of the pitch. Whereas you see that Anthony Gordon, he's like, give me the ball at my feet. I'm going to take you on. I'm going to go past you. And if I don't...
not so much this season, though, man. He's not been great this season.
No, I know. But as kind of like Ian was saying, obviously his first season wasn't great. Last season, he seemed to be on fire, right? But I just mean that personality, that that kind of
arrogance,
arrogance about you to go.
confidence, whatever you want.
Yeah, as opposed to being a bit nervous and wanting to cut back.
Yeah, but
and
that's the
take the
environment.
ball and
That's
not
the
lose the
environment.
ball and stuff like that.
Every time he has a shit game, the 50 million price tag comes up. When he has a decent game or scores a couple of goals, well, who did we play? Do you see what I mean? We're always shit.
It's up and down, isn't it? On a pedestal, down in the drain, on a pedestal.
A lot of the critique that the players is getting is probably justified. All right, the abuse and all of that stuff. I completely don't. I made a video about it saying I disagree with it. People should never abuse him or his family or whatever it is. It's nothing to do with football. You critique the performances, for the good and for the bad. Like, at the end of the day, the environment that he's like, having to come off the social, that everyone's slamming him and stuff like that. It's not the greatest environment for any player to go in and to having to put performance, but he's doing that. He's doing what he can. Is there room for improvement? Of course there is. I think hopefully all I can hope for him is that these couple of goals that he scored will give him a bit more confidence to add to his performances. And like I said, if we go to United and Brighton, he puts a performance against them and maybe even chips in with a goal or assists, I think maybe just maybe there is hope for him yet. Whether he'll become a mega star in the way that Bale is, who knows, man? We're looking too far ahead.
No way.
You don't.
We're looking too far ahead. Listen, either way, for me, it doesn't matter. For me, right now, it's game basis.
Southampton was absolute top draw as a kid. He was a top player as a kid.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I'm not comparing him to Bale, by the way. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying those heights, or even it's him to get anywhere near that. It doesn't matter to me. That it's not important for me right now. This is a classic post, Carly. No disrespect. It's a classic.
Carly's cool. She probably messaged me. She's actually really cool. Big up to Carly.
I'm sure Carly, if you're watching,
yeah, she's cool. She's cool. She's banter.
I think she was probably bantering. She was probably happy after a game. And why not? We'll go a little bit over the top after Spurs win because it's lovely to have that feeling, and that's where we gas up and we put these.
I'm sure after Brendan Johnson scored, the first thing we all thought of was
that was Gareth Bale.
Stelios.
Yeah, he was shushing, still in the crowd. He was still in the crowd. He thought shushing him. But you know what? It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if he feels like he has to shush people, that means perhaps those people, to some extent, were right.
In fairness, he was doing it to the Brentford fans.
Yeah, he was at the away. He shushed those away fans. Yeah.
Right.
The thing is with Brendan Johnson, my gripe with him is the same gripe I've got with Kulusevski, Richarlison, Werner, and many players, even Solanke from his Bournemouth days. Against the top 10 teams, they go missing in a lot of those games.
Earlier, we got players for the bottom 10 teams.
Against the bottom 10, actually, Richarlison's record was really good. Johnson's record was good. Kulu's record was very good.
Still, there's 18.
Solanke's record last season was excellent against the bottom 10.
There's 20 teams in the league. So we've got those players already to deal with the bottom half. We just need to get the ones to deal with the top half. And then we've got a squad right there.
Iggy, we need to do like an NFL thing, right?
Yeah.
When you're attacking,
we're playing bottom 10. We're just drafting these players in. Right, Johnson. Let's get them all on the pitch. Who are we playing today, boss? We got Villa. Right, you lot, fuck off. We're playing this next lot.
Have a week off.
Is it fair to say, though? Is it fair to say?
Guys, we're just having a little bit of a laugh because it doesn't happen too often. When we talk about Spurs, we have a little bit of a laugh.
No, I'm serious. I think we should do that. We should have one team for the top 10, like NFL. You know, NFL, they've been on like the.
Listen, the amount of games that we're playing, with the added games in Europe, with the EFL, FA Cup, soon we will have to have a 25, 30-man squad. We were probably more nearer to the 30-man squad.
We can't fit.
We're all right with goalkeepers because we've got 4, so we're all right with that.
Did I see that earlier? We can't fit our subs quota for the UEFA. Or something. You need 10 subs or something.
What do you mean? We admitted Jed Spence.
Maybe I was daydreaming.
No, we've met the requirements. We've done what we have to do.
With obviously last thing on Brendan Johnson.
I hope so, JP.
Oh, come
Is it
on! I
fair to
wasn't
say
comparing
that?
BJ Barry Johnson to. Oh my God! I mentioned Johnson and Barrel in the same sentence. Look at that! Fuck my life! I wasn't comparing them, man. Of course, they're not comparable.
But you were
We're just
comparing them a
saying
little bit.
those heights,
You were
those
a little bit.
Gareth Bale heights. I'm not saying he's ever going to make it, but in that trajectory to go anywhere near, not comparable.
Is it fair to say that? Is it fair to say that us as fans have an effect on people like Brennan Johnson? Because, say for example, he scored 2 in 2, scored 2 good goals in 2 games, and he's still getting criticised. So is he going to go home, like, he's still a young lad? Is he going to go and go, fuck me, I've scored in 2 games, I'm still getting criticised? Like, what's the point?
Well, only if you watch this away. The rest of the channels and podcasts are praising him. He's shutting us up.
He's
dominating the game. So if you watch those channels, he's all right.
Hey, we'll play United.
For me, I just think sometimes if they do well, you have to praise them.
Yeah,
I just find sometimes if they do well, you have to praise them. And I find in our fan base, there's a lot of scapegoats that go on, and I'm sure.
James, let me tell you what's happening. There is. I'm not, and please hear the panel as well. Don't hear what I'm trying to say. If someone's been slamming him and have justified slam a player who then perhaps every so often might drop in a good performance. Let me use the word good performance loosely, or maybe chip him with a goal. That person that's been slamming them now is in a situation where, well, he's only done it 1 game. Let him do it consistently, and then if he does want to do it consistently, it's like shit. Now I'm in a bit of a pickle because he's turning the critiques around. And I've been slamming him all season. Now I've got to come pinpoint the little faults in his game just so I can continue.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I didn't say you. Did I say you? Did I say you?
No, but who else are you talking about? Who are you
I'm
talking about?
I'm
saying what's been happening online. I'm not saying as you're doing that. No, but if this geezer, you see, stay away. He said, it's me. You're talking about me. Don't worry, I'm coming for you when it comes to Vicario. We haven't even gone to Vicario. We're going to get to Vicario, and then we're at Vicario. Right, Johnson, I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to Vicario in a minute. Like I'm cooking on that one.
Lighten up. We're.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes to keep that narrative going, just so I'm right, I've got to then go and find faults, even when the performance is half decent.
No, I've said, if Johnson,
just say it, man.
No, it sounds like you're describing Phil to me.
I didn't mention names. I didn't mention names. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry if it hit a nerve. It's on you. It's not on me. I didn't mention names.
No, I just want you to just say it as it is and not just hide behind.
No. I said what happens online. I didn't mention you, but if you're feeling it, and I'm sorry, that's you. It's not me.
Who are you talking about? This is ridiculous.
I said online. I said what happens online to carry on the narrative.
I'm online.
You're the only one online. No, I'm online. Everyone's online. I'm just saying sometimes to carry on the narrative on a certain
account called user-WC613. Them ones. Those
no. Listen, if it hit a nerve, I can't do nothing about that, man. You hit a nerve. I didn't admit you. I didn't mention names.
If Brennan Johnson.
I said it, by the way, Jess. He's got to go to. He's got to go to them grounds.
I'm saying that's the only way I change, because if
I'm with you.
Games,
he goes to the Emirates.
Go missing in those games. I'm going to be like, this is bullshit.
He goes to the Emirates. He goes to, but not. By the way, not just Johnson. By the way, I'm talking about Tottenham Hotspur as a whole team. They go to the Emirates. Go to United. Go to the big grounds, and they start putting performances which. Even if we don't win, or even like we were to lose, or even get a draw, but you start seeing something and change in the mentality of the team, where it's compact and the cojones, go to those grounds and perform, then you can start saying, okay, man, these players, okay. But until that,
the way Arsenal went to Man City and gave it a proper, do you know what? We're not going down.
They would have won that game if Trossard hadn't done. What they're doing, I don't know what he's thinking.
If Rodri never got injured as well, we could say maybe Man City would have won it, because
Yeah,
There's a
it
lot of
would.
ifs and buts in that
Let's
game.
just say it would have been good to see that second half how it would have unfolded.
Look,
Let's just
do you
say
know
that
what?
rather
I
than
don't know
what
why
it
I'm
did.
I hate him. Ian, let me ask you a question, right?
Go on.
If Ange ball or the way we play the tactics and certain players like Johnson and others, if we go to United and Brighton and it's like another Newcastle game, another Coventry game, where are you going to be at? Are you going to be a bit more, do you know what? I'm struggling to buy into this. Or are you going to be, no, just, it's give it more time. Just keep giving it more time. Where would you be after those? If it doesn't go well, if it doesn't go well for us?
My feeling is that we are miles off the top three, miles off them at the moment. We finished fifth. We should have finished higher, but for Angie's kamikaze tactics last season. 2 points. It's a win or a couple of draws, whatever. How do I think we'll do in those two games? It all depends how he plays. Let's take United. It's next week. He played, to me, I thought Udogie played wider a lot more than I've seen him play since Ange came. And he gave Maddison space. Porro, who I didn't think had a great game on Saturday defensively, played a bit wider as well, which I think would help Johnson, because Johnson's not a winger. Johnson's an inside forward. And Johnson needs to be played in his right position just to see whether he will reach whatever potential he's got. Sunday all depends on how Ange plays his tactics. Is he going to play Porro and Udogie wide or wider like he did on Saturday? Or is he going to think to himself, there's Mainu and Fernandes, we need to close down the space, let's just close midfield up again, which would hurt Maddison, because Maddison's having to track back and play behind Udogie, unfortunately, which is why that's nullified his ability in the last few games before Saturday. Or is he going to keep it as it is, and is he going to go toe to toe with them? They've been playing well, they just haven't been putting the ball in the back of the net. I'm just worried that they'll carry on playing well and they'll score off you on Sunday. We're nowhere near, for me, we could finish fifth, we could finish eighth or ninth. I don't think we've got a hope in hell of getting anywhere near any of the domestic trophies. For Europe, I think, we haven't got City, Liverpool, Arsenal in the Europa, and I think, we've got as good a chance as any of 6 or 7 teams. So for me, the Europa is the key competition.
Where would you? I just want to know where would you be at as a fan if we just don't get results against Man United and Brighton? Would you have serious questions about our players and our manager, or would you be patient and trust the process?
I'm as sick as everybody of the continual revolving door for managers. You look at the teams that are successful, and they've all had a manager that's been there for years. There's stability. You just go back, Ferguson, Wenger, Chelsea were a one-off. They just kept changing and kept winning that. But by and large, you look at Klopp won a few trophies, Pep's gone mad with trophies. But these guys have been given the chance to build over several years. It's all very well saying, with City, they've got all this money to spend. But I remember Newcastle going berserk, when they were 12 points clear of United, and they brought in a spreader. Doesn't mean because you've got money, you've got to spend money wisely.
That blew it for them, didn't it?
We don't buy the big players, we don't pay the big wages, and we finish where we finish. The best teams have the best players, by and large, who get paid the highest wages, and that's not Tottenham. So until we get new owners, we're just not going to be there. Pochettino was basically.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what, Ian.
Really pulled off a miracle. So
save the owner conversation, because towards the end of the show we're going to talk about the fans forum, because some comments have come out from Ange and Levy that we need to discuss. Let's move it on to this player. Look, I'll go first. I thought he had an excellent game. He won the ball He set up the attacks. He won it deep. He won it high. He scored a fantastic finish dink over the goalie. I thought that's probably the best game I've seen him play for Spurs, other than when we went to the Emirates away. People were saying he's been on another level this season, really impressed. I think that's a little bit too carried away. Other people were saying his shift of his weight, his balance, his agility, just overhyping it, I guess. But nonetheless, I think a lot of fans were really happy with the performance, praising him. I thought for me, he was probably our man of the match. My thinking. What did you guys think of Maddison on the day? I thought he was excellent.
That's probably one of the best games I've seen him play. And he almost seemed to be controlling that midfield. He was doing his little turns, his little pivot runs, playing quick balls around the corner, first touches, things like that. It kind of seemed to be like in the right frame of mind, and two, I think he had the space. And you're possibly right, Ian, in terms of like the fact that he wasn't clustered up there or suffocated up there. Whereas that is what you see, and I've also said that before. You get Udogie, you get Porro, and you get everyone else in there, and then suddenly he's got no room to look up and pick people. Which is why he drops deeper to actually collect the ball to try and do something. But by then the other team are pressing and like he's lost it. But that's why I think he had a lot of space like the weekend, but he used it wisely and used it perfectly, right? He did all the things that you want him to do, all of the best bits that we've probably ever seen of him, and the pictures that we have in our minds of how Maddison plays. I think that was all of it. He was able to showcase all of that the weekend, which kind of like was great for us.
Well, he won the ball for the first goal before he shot. He nicked the ball for the second goal before Sonny laid it up, and he scored the third. He had a phenomenal game, I think. Absolutely superb.
And these are the things I think with him, and like even with, not necessarily Brendan Johnson, with Brendan Johnson as well, is like from games like these that they play, they should be able to kick on now, right? And like we've said that with many players many a time, right? Like they have those great games and the confidence builder and stuff like that. You go, well, this is what you can do. Go out and do it, boys.
For me, a couple of things I spotted. I mentioned it earlier on. I felt like he played with a little bit more freedom up here. He had there was an aura about him. Normally, like he looks a bit like frustrated with himself. He played with so I felt that mentally he was a bit more free. From a pitch perspective, there's two things. You guys are right about the fullbacks, maybe not congesting the midfielders, allowed him a bit more freedom, but also drops deeper. And the other thing that I picked up is the chemistry between him and Kulusevski. I think having a double pivot that can hit those areas that's in attacking midfield makes us a little bit less predictable when it's just Maddison there and perhaps the two holding midfielders, or certainly midfielders that play a little bit more deeper, like the six, and then whether it's Bentancur or Bissouma, and then perhaps Sarr. Having Kulusevski now there as another option that can attack those spaces, Maddison's got someone to link it up with, and I think that's maybe the change in that dynamic. And of course, to cap off a really good performance on the weekend was him scoring a goal, and in the manner that he took it, full of confidence. So I want to see this Maddison for a little bit more games. He hadn't scored for a long time. I think I want to say like, what was it, Burnley or Brentford? I can't remember the last time he scored. It was a long time ago, and that's unacceptable for Maddison. A player like Maddison should be scoring a bit more regularly. Certainly not the gap that it's taken him to get to this point. So maybe again, it's the same. I'll have the same conversation about him than I would with Johnson earlier on. He needs to be a bit more consistent in that, and because when we get Maddison ticking, I think it will help us massively, certainly in all our attacking plays. So good. Maybe the fullback's not squeezing his space, giving him a bit more freedom, playing with a bit more freedom, and having someone like Kulusevski next to him, where they speak the same language, so to speak, and that can only be a benefit for Spurs. So long may it continue, but it needs to be more consistent. And that word consistent keeps coming around, and that's a lot for a lot of the players in our team.
Snell, can I just answer Jordan? What I said was, we got a chance
Ian,
for each Europa.
Let me bring it up. Hold on. Let's get the comment 1 minute. Jordan, is this Ian? You think we have a better chance of the League Cup over the Europa? Farcical, he says.
Didn't say that. What I said was we haven't got a chance in the domestic trophies. But there's no Liverpool, Arsenal, or Man City in the Europa. And I think we've got as good a chance as any with 5 or 6 other clubs for the Europa.
There you go, Jordan. There's your answer. A couple of super chats I've missed. By the way, sorry, guys, because these super chats were quite earlier on. A user says some channels call it Ange Masterclass. They never learn. Faz says fine margins could have put us 5 wins on 15 points right now. That's what Ian and James were saying earlier on. A user again, thank you. He says against big teams, we still have a mentality issue. And
I agree with that comment.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that one probably. And Isaac whatever that is. Winning. Now, do you know when I can't read it properly, I don't read it because it's probably something to catch me out, like another empty cabernet.
Just call Isaac.
Yes. Isaac. Winning 2 games I'm so scared. You get stung once, you don't want to get stung again. Winning 2 games in a row, then losing game hereafter. We're going to find out. We're going to find out for sure.
That he thinks basically we're going to lose after a couple of wins. We'll follow it up with a defeat. Let's hope not. Let's hope it's not the case.
Do you think the likes of the Johnsons, the Madisons, and players that played well that we have a question about consistency? Do you think it's because when we played Everton and the Brentfords, there was a lot more space given to us? There's just more space for our players to operate in, which is what they want. Whereas when it's congested, we don't like it. We don't really know what to do.
No, definitely. 100%. 100%. You know, the better teams close you down quicker, close the space. You know, players in your own team have got to step up against the better teams. And are they good enough?
Well, see, Man United.
Still, that is a spot on tweet from Twan55.
This is Anthony. This is Anthony. Guys, can we address the 800-pound gorilla in the room? The fact that our club de facto firing of Paratici was the beginning of the end for our club. His mistakes are miles better than Lange's wins. It's looking that way, isn't it? Paratici actually looking like he did the best business out of the two. But it's hard to say because we don't know if Bergvall and Gray are good because they don't get the minutes at the moment, so we don't know.
Well, I suppose considering he brought in
Stogie, Van
der Ven,
in fact,
Goalkeeper.
Let's get on to one of his,
into the team, literally, didn't they?
Let's get on to one of his signings, right? We need to have a conversation about this man, right, Vicari?
Yay!
We need to discuss this Hugo Lloris.
My goalkeeper.
Hugo Lloris 2.0, right? Guys,
it's a fucking joke that you can even call him that. It's a joke.
The disrespect is mad.
It's a joke that you can call him
Hugo Lloris was amazing in his heyday for us. We're talking
Prime
about.
Lloris. So we're saying he's that we're comparing that Prime Lloris to
amazing shot stopper, phenomenal shot stopper, terrible with the ball at his feet and distribution.
How would this guy be getting on with Alderweireld and Vertonghen and Rose and Walker? How would this Vicario be getting on with those 4 defenders?
Talk to me about that. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to shut.
Do you know what? I'm going to shut up. You brought it up because you put out that tweet. You did that. So now you're going to bring up the argument as to why you've done that, and I will counter argument with that. I'll respond to that.
Can I start with this? Because I've been involved on X with people over Vicario since the weekend. Do you know what? People have got short memories. This guy has pulled us out the SH on so many occasions. He's the most superb shot stopper. He is calm with the ball at his feet. If you see the way, I hate the way we play out with the ball in our box and passing it around. Can't stand it. You know, you ask for trouble, and sooner or later, everybody gets caught and you give a goal away. and he nearly gave a goal away on Saturday. But boy, did he make up and put it right. Put it right. Made a terrific save, and the 2 saves that he did make won us the game. I don't know how people can moan. The save
People
from the
forget
header,
about that though. But this is what I'm saying about the Spurs fans.
people forget.
They like to fixate on the little things that went wrong and not all the good things that have happened. It's like, let's criticise him any way we can. For me, I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper, to be honest. I think if we didn't have him last season, if we talk about last season, mate, we are finishing bottom half of the table if we don't have him last season.
Superb.
Fantastic. He's good. I wouldn't say fantastic because number one, we found out last season that when you bully him in the box, look at Raya command that box, fly
Hold
in.
up. Hold up.
What happened for their goal?
Right, listen.
Let me finish. I'll take out Raya. I'll take out
We
Raya.
can't. What is in front of him?
All right. I'm not gonna bring up Raya. Let me subtract that. Right, great performance.
Why? We could have signed Real. We chose not to.
All right,
Didn't pay the money.
All right, Vicario last season, right? City showed the blueprint that when you bump them on set pieces, right, and we were able to give up a lot of goals when you bully him in whatsoever. Now, the Peacock coverage in America, right? They were saying that Vicario was being criticized for not coming out of his line, and then this past game, you saw that he struggled coming out of the line. And so the commentator, who I forgot, funny says, you know what? You may as well stay on the line and not come out the line. Because when he comes out the line, right, you saw those errors against Brentford, right? So it was almost like they were saying, and I agree, you know what? He should stay on his line because those errors that you saw on Saturday, you probably won't see those. So it was almost like you damn if you do, damn if you don't. And I came after the game and said, you know what? Stay on your line. Stay on your line. Because it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on Saturday. Fantastic saves. He's a great shot stopper. But, man, there were some decisions we got off the line where it's just like kind of scary. But
no, I disagree so much. I disagree so much.
You know what? You
didn't think that was a big error?
This guy's the culprit from that tweet. He's brought this argument up and he's staying quiet. I want to hear why he's brought him up.
You're not
so then I can start
I'm just waiting for
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm calling it back.
Iggy,
I'm calling it back.
I want to ask Still one and then
Maybe
everybody. Iggy, I want to ask Still and everybody who's watching, who's sending in these comments. How many goals, how many shots have gone under his body, through his fingers, through his hands, headers through his hands? Come on, guys. I can't remember one since he joined. You can't turn around and say he let ball
this
through.
fraud next to me
He got caught
brought up
on
the
his
tweet.
I'll show you one that went through his fingers on the weekend. He does it all the time. We just pretend it doesn't happen. Like, look, for me, let me start with this, okay? Klopp, Arteta, Pep are all managers that the give Ange time because they had time compared to would all replace Vicario to kick on. But we'll put him for years and you'll see off another 3 managers, right? Because the way we want to play, the way someone put it on the social media, the way we want to play, this guy is a liability. But I want to let me show you why. Okay, I'll show you. I think as a shot stopper, just an out-and-out shot stopper, I think he's sensational. I think he's probably one of the best in the league. There was a chance in the second half. There it is. Look, I've taken the images. This save here was outstanding, right? And from behind the goal, look at it, man. Full straight.
Banksy, wasn't
it? It's ballet. It's ballet. It's football ballet, right? This is an incredible save, and he does this.
He does that at least once. He does that at least once a game.
Iggy,
I think you're being harsh there, Iggy. I see that 2-3 times a game.
Minimum.
Yeah, James. Yeah,
I don't see Raya doing that because he doesn't need to because he's got the protection of
This is what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say to Mari's things because
forget Man City.
Why
Forget
not?
Man City.
Let me finish my.
All right,
Let me finish my.
All right,
my
make a
thing.
point. Make a point before I finish
So
off.
as a shot stopper, you don't listen. I know on this channel we've got an issue with the truth, but this is why I'm here. I'm here to bring it. I'm here to bring the truth.
Yeah. Your truth.
Right?
Only when you talk, we
Let
have
him
issues.
finish.
Anyone who dares, right? Anyone who dares to say this is an echo chamber, you're
No.
deaf. Because tonight we've argued over everything.
Everyone's
Vicario-
truth is the truth.
Ricario, I'm just saying he's dodgy, right? So as a
Why
shot
is he
stopper,
the Go on.
I'm going to show you, right? As sorry, because I just remove the comments because I'm trying to do the images. So as a shot stopper, excellent. One of the best in the league, if not the best. I think he's superb. However, you can't tell me this is a top goalie when this happens. The ball comes to him, the ball's at his feet. He's under no pressure. He's under no pressure, right? Within 3-4 seconds, this happens. Listen, man, you can defend it as much as you like, and then this leads to them having a shot. The good thing is, when they got the shot, he saved it because he's a good shot stopper. He put out his own fire that he created, right? He put out the fire that he created. This shouldn't happen though. And listen, if this is City, Arsenal, Chelsea, they're scoring. They're scoring this goal, right? The second thing.
How many times has ever got that? Has that ever happened?
I see this too often now, Iggy. Out from back.
Distribution's gonna get
Right? And the second thing, right? The second thing with him, he flaps about, man. Like, look, the ball's coming in. There he is. Catch it, right? Catch the ball, man. You're a goalie. Catch the ball. No, through his fingers. Now he's trying to save the situation. He handballs it. Gets away with it. And you're sitting there telling me he's a top goalie. Iggy, I think he's an amazing shot stopper.
How many times has that happened? Like you've gone and picked out like
corners.
that.
How many times he flap it as a corner, man? Like,
where are we? Where are we as a team on corners? Where are we?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say
Where
earlier.
are we,
Samari.
If you had a situation
against Newcastle, as a goalie, that first goal against Newcastle, he felt he got criticized even by the commentary where it should have been a very easy save, but he hit the post. I remember against Newcastle, and we're like, "What is Vicario doing there?" I'm not saying that he doesn't make fantastic saves. He does, but it's like I said, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's some things that he does where it's like
this season. This season, perhaps he hasn't. I will agree with you that this season, perhaps he hasn't. He started that way. The Jekyll and Hyde thing, probably the beginning of our season is probably. Listen, Jordan, you're bang on. He saved us a lot of points last season. This season, I can argue that perhaps he hasn't started, but then again, who has? All right, in our team. Secondly, he's a product.
This all started when Man City sussed him out from corners last season.
And what did we do as a team
to
protect our keeper? What did we do? What did we do?
Agreed.
We still done.
You're passing the blame. You're passing.
No, it's a collective.
No,
it's a collective. It's a collective thing. When you're talking about defending at the moment, right now, with Arsenal's defense,
this is the team's fault. This is the team's fault.
You want to bring that? Okay. Let's keep bringing that up. If we listen, can I say something? If you and I,
this is the team's fault.
If I can maybe make, if you and I right now with Arsenal's defense, you and I can play and go. You and I can play goal.
No, I couldn't. I think no.
No. I'm not disrespecting Raya. I think Raya's a good goalie because I wanted him at Spurs. I will say that.
This is my argument.
I wanted him at Spurs. He was my number one choice before even Vicario came into the picture. All right. I wanted, even though I knew Vicario had a good season at Empoli. I didn't think. I don't know. I thought to myself from Empoli to Spurs. I don't know, man. It might be too much of a jump. But look. Raya is. I'm not knocking Raya as a keeper when I say that. I'm saying that Arsenal's defense is so good right now, all right, that I and you will probably do a good job in that goalkeeper. That's not to the merit of Raya. It's actually merit to the defense to say how good they are. So they don't even need a worldie in goal. Yeah, I don't think. Of course, he's going to come in against Man City. Of course, he's going to come into play. He might have to make a 1 or 2 really top saves. What I'm saying though, if Vicario was playing in an Arsenal with an Arsenal defense in front of him, I think he would look good as well. I think the constant pressure that we put ourselves under in a manner that how the hell with this defense we can't keep enough clean sheets? Is it because was it all on Vicario, or is it because the nature and the style that we're playing so high that we concede a lot going the other way? And also the set pieces, we say corners kick, there's a weakness in the goalkeeper. Granted, he can do better from corners. He must do better from corners. But what have we set up? Have we set up any differently to try not show perhaps the weakness of a goalkeeper? Because goalkeepers have weaknesses as well. What have we done to protect that weaknesses? Do we set up any difference? We have centre backs not going up against other centre backs and get beaten on the header without so much as marking them or even knocking them, even if they're jumping higher, they're not even giving them a nudge to fall. And we got World Cup winners in our team. He was at fault for that Gabriel. I don't care what anyone says, that Gabriel goal, he's at fault for that. Not the keeper. Maybe the keeper perhaps could have come out and helped him out. But what did no. I'm answering. On Sunday, the goal that we conceded in Wemmer.
You're excusing him of any personal ownership of the mistakes he makes.
I'm getting there. Our defense is so good that when Mbeumo takes a strike on our goal, he hasn't got a single defender within 2 yards of him. He's able to get that shot off straight away.
I don't think Vicario could have saved that. I thought that
it doesn't matter. The matter about you've got to look at the chances that we concede. It doesn't matter if he could have got there or not.
Yeah, but I don't look at that as a goalie mistake. I'm looking at the things he should be doing. Catching a ball, kicking it out of his feet. He fucks it up all the time.
All the time. Now we're saying all the time. What he did against Brentford, coming out of the area, that happened on Saturday. I don't see that all the time.
Okay, not all the time, but too often.
It is more and more, though, Iggy.
It is more and more. Thank you, JP.
So if you have a player that has a weaknesses, why would you do things to exploit that? Why would you if you got a goalkeeper, if you want to start playing from the back, go and get a goalkeeper that's good with his feet and start playing from the back. Vicario's not that guy. Get rid of him and get another one. If you know that you don't have a goalkeeper that's good with his feet, why are you passing to him? Why are you passing to him?
So I think we agree then.
The way
we want to play, this guy's not the answer, which is why this guy put this comment up. That if it was Klopp, Pep, whoever, they'd move him on because it doesn't suit the system. I don't think Vicario suits the way
I would alter my way of playing. If I have a goalkeeper that I rate is a good goalie, I don't think it's essential.
An amazing shot stopper. He's a phenomenal shot stopper. He's one of the best in the league at shot stopping. The saves he pulls out every game are insane. Like, you just wow. But when the ball comes to his feet and he slows down, passing out from the back, you start panicking. You think, "Fuck, who's he going to give it to? This is going to go wrong." Like, I'm always panicky when that happens.
And Arsenal had Ramsdale, who was known for errors, right? With that same defense. That's why they moved on.
To the same defense. Sorry,
also, people like to pick on one person like that. Like they'll say, "Oh, Raya spilled the ball for their goal that he conceded." No one will ever say nothing because he scored a couple of goals. He saves a couple of chances.
How many points did he win us last season?
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But also, what I'm saying is, people say things like, "Oh, he's not very good from corners."
Though, right, Iggy?
No, we're smashing him, man. I've seen the critics online, man. I see how everyone absolutely rinsing him, and I think this geezer, he may even be having a dip of form. It could be just a dip of form or a bit of low confidence because
he's been dodgy catching the ball. Iggy, do you know what it is? He's ever since that Man City game, teams have sussed him out and us as a team from set pieces.
What have we done to counter that?
How can you
still 1 goal in 10 games? We let in 1 set piece goal from a corner in 10 league games. It's from Liverpool onwards. Beginning of May, I was last 5 of last season and the first 5 this season. Gabriel's goal is the only goal from a set piece. It's been much better since the coaches came in during the summer.
It is, but he's still flapping about. Like every game, there's a moment where he flaps about.
That's his. Can I answer that as well? Can I actually answer that? Because what Murray said was Arsenal. With Raya with Arsenal. With Arsenal, what they do is they have Ben White standing in front of Raya protecting Raya. We have like Pedro Porro standing in front of Vicario, and then they just. I mean, look what happened last season with Ben White. Was holding his glove, taking his glove. No one did nothing. They just allowed him there to get bullied. And the moment he pushes back, they'll give a free kick. So for me, you can't blame one man for that. You need to be blaming Romero. He's probably the biggest, baddest dude in our squad. He should be protecting Vicario. He should be the one standing there and saying, you know what, mate, I've got you. This space is yours. You come out and collect it. Anyone gets in your way, I'm there to help you out. But no, what we do, this is what I said earlier, everybody wants to blame one person as a scapegoat rather than look at the bigger picture. So this time it's going to be Vicario. Let's all bash Vicario. His formal dip. Everyone will focus on that one problem.
Currently right now, I'm just talking right now. Currently right now, do you believe he has command of the box? Like I said, I'm watching Raya just fly, catching balls against us, against Atalanta.
Because he's full of confidence with the defense that's in front of him. He's a keeper in full confidence, man.
Ramsdale have that same confidence. That's what I'm saying. Why you didn't have that same confidence? And Ramsdale just.
Why doesn't Vicario have the same confidence as Raya? Should we go to 61 goals? Probably tell you why.
I get that, but there's some errors this season. I'm seeing that self-inflicted. That you can't blame Udogie, Romero, can't blame VDB.
So are we basing our opinion on Vicario based on this season? Just to be clear.
Yes,
No,
mostly.
Just on this season. We're not since his arrival to Spurs.
And,
we're not.
And he is our starting.
Mostly this season, Nicky.
He is our starting.
Last season as well. He looked a bit suspect, but this season he looks really good.
Man City game. But I will say this: he is our starting keeper. He's our starting keeper going forward. So I'm not saying
there's fans out there that believe that our defenders can get into that Arsenal team comfortably.
Can I a genuine question? I don't know if anyone actually knows the answer to this question.
Only
Sorry,
Van de
Does
Ven.
anyone actually know?
Van de Ven, are you sure?
Sorry, James. Can I just say one thing really quickly? Iggy, whatever he did last season, that was last season, right?
Yeah.
This season's and what he does now has to count. And
So this season is average last season as well. So what's the truth? What we saw last season, what we see this season, or maybe the truth somewhere in between.
Last season, who cares about last season?
Well, so far, JP.
He has to perform in the games that he's there now, right? Surely.
If we're gonna do that to suit the narrative, absolutely fine, man.
What narrative?
Not to suit the narrative.
The narrative, man. We're basing it. We've had 4 games this season.
Yeah.
4 games.
5.
League games. 4
5.
league games. 5 league games. 5 league games is enough to call this guy an average keeper at best.
I never said he's
How many
average.
games?
I didn't say you said it. I'm reading the comments that are coming up.
Forget the comments for now.
Iggy, look at the facts. Iggy, look at the facts. He saved us a point at Leicester when Vardy went through. He's won us the game on Saturday with those 2 saves, and people are moaning. We got 7 points.
The game, Ian. He nearly cost us the game. He should have been sent off for crying out loud. He could have got
Nearly.
That's not sending off.
No, it was a handball.
Look at the rules. It's not
It's a
sending off.
handball.
He didn't stop a goal scoring opportunity. Why is it a red card? Did he stop a goal scoring opportunity?
Okay.
Did he stop a goal scoring opportunity? It should have been a yellow card.
If he didn't move the ball, Iggy, that ball would have bounced to Damsgaard.
Play Foster in goal. Play Foster in goal.
No. Foster's horrendous. He's an absolute
That's
donut.
the alternative. Play Foster.
I'm not arguing the alternative because Vicario's miles ahead. All I'm saying is, as a shot stopper, I think he's outstanding. I think he's one of the best in the league.
Then maybe we should allow the team
playing out from the back.
Maybe we should allow teams to take more shots out of goals.
He doesn't fill me with confidence, Iggy.
Maybe we should, as a team, we should set up where teams instead of getting in behind or maybe set pieces, try and get the teams to shoot from outside the box a bit more and protect our line. Maybe drop our line about 10 yards. So maybe they could take shots from goals rather than getting in behind.
It sounds like what you're saying is you agree that he's got a deficiency.
I'm not saying, of course, he has to improve.
To cover up for him.
No.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
No. I'll say it again. Are there things that he needs to improve on? Absolutely. No one's complete. No one's a complete player. But are we exposing him to show up his weaknesses more than his strengths? I think so too. I do.
Can I ask a question? Like genuine question. I don't know the answer to. How many goals have we actually conceded from a Vicario mistake?
We're getting away with it. Is my point? We're getting away with it.
I actually don't know the answer. I'm asking a question. How many goals have we actually conceded from him making a mistake?
I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's a lot.
How many points has he saved us to compare what he's cost us? That's how I
More.
value it.
It's
a little
just
bit.
more
What's
than
the
what it costs.
question, James?
It's just more than what it costs us.
It's
What's
really
the percentage?
it's really subjective because
I don't know the percentages.
Lee Dixon,
I'll
but
say
then
80-20.
but then former Everton keeper, United States keeper, what's his name?
Anana.
Tall black guy, used to be Everton's keeper. Tim Howard. Yeah,
Tim Howard.
Tim Howard said that goal on the Gabriel score. He said part to blame was also Vicario.
Oh, come off, man. That's crap.
So
That's crap. He's got a free header 5 yards out. I'm sorry, mate. If you believe that, I'm sorry. If you believe that, then you're crazy because he's 5 yards out with a free header.
This is a international professional who's played the Premier League. Who said that? And I recorded it. He said it. He said himself that.
I don't care what he said.
Job when the professional. I'm not trying to assault you.
All right. So I'll believe. So from now on, I'll believe everything that Gary Neville says. Yeah, he's a professional. Guy's clueless.
These are professionals. These are professionals. They play the game.
I'm sorry, mate. You could have had Prime Booth on in those sticks. If someone's got a bullet header from 5 yards out, you're expecting your keeper to save it. No, I'm sorry. I expect my defenders to get in the way and stop that run. I'm sorry. I will
go with the professional who's played the Premier League, Tim Howard. I will go and
in a situation of set pieces and corners where we have. We had a quality centre half in Van der Ven. We have a World Cup winner in Romero, and we do not mark or see the danger out. I'm not saying that I'm not absolving Vicario of any responsibility from corner. Of course, from a 6 foot plus goalkeeper, he probably should have a more of a and something for sure that he can work on. I'm not saying that, guys. Let me just make that very clear. However, if we concede a goal in what Gabriel, because that's the one we're talking about, we concede a header when a World Cup winner standing right next to him, watching, taking a header. It's a bullet header with a 5 yards out. We can't say it's all on the keeper when we, as defenders, haven't done the basic thing, seeing the danger out from beginning to end. We haven't done. If he's jumping up and with Romero, and he's just thinking, "Fucking, the keeper could have helped him out there," but we didn't help ourselves in that situation. I'm not.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me retract that
because that's the only header we can see this season. That's the one I can go on because we're not talking about last season now. We're only talking about this season, so I can only go on that header.
James, what Tim Howard was saying was for him.
Yeah, but didn't you say we just
come off the line and get it so that doesn't happen? That's what Tim Howard is saying. He's not saying that he expected him to save that. What he said, he should come off the line and grab it. That's what Tim Howard was saying. Like,
yeah. So let me answer that then. Let me actually answer that then. Let me answer that because when he had that free header, Ben White is standing in front of him and stopping him from running. Where is our centre backs doing their job? If our centre backs were to get in the way of him and Ben White moving, it allows Vicario space to come and grab that ball. But everybody now, because of what happened at City, everybody now is standing on top of Vicario, taking away that run, taking away that space. For me, I'm not saying that Vicario couldn't be better at doing that. I think he could be better at coming and collecting the ball. But the fact that you're saying, yeah, but Tim Howard said it, so it must be true. That for one debunks any argument because that's like saying whatever anyone says on telly must be true, which is crap. For me, no wait, listen. If Tim Howard was watching that game, he would have seen Romero. For one, in the wrong position, he should be marking his man, not standing in front of him, just waiting for the ball to go over his head. Why didn't he pick up that? I'm sorry, people like to put blame onto one person because it's easy. Look at the whole team. I want Romero marking Gabriel, and yet what he does is he gets a little tap in the back, dives forward, allows a free header, and then we're expecting our keeper to save the header from 5 yards. Let's look at the bigger picture and stop that attack happening where it is.
They mentioned that. But like I'm gonna say it once again, another way, as Tim Howard says, you get off your line and you go grab that ball. That's what I'm saying.
It's not as easy as that if you just come off your line and grab that ball when you've got all their defenders in front of you, is it?
You can't. It's difficult to come out to grab that ball if you're blocked.
Yeah.
You have to have. You
Can
have
I
to
ask you a
have.
question, guys? Can I
You
ask
have
you a
to have a
question?
couple of steps in order to elevate yourself to go and grab that ball. And plus, did you see how high Gabriel jumped? He looked about 8 foot up in the air.
Yeah,
You know,
Arsenal
so
practice set pieces to.
this is
to-
what I'm
to
saying, that
precision.
we didn't do
I wanna
enough.
ask you a question, though.
Knowing
I wanna
how
ask you a
strong
question.
they are, we didn't
Yeah,
do
but
enough to block them off.
this isn't a corner. This wasn't a corner. This wasn't
All
a
right,
corner.
you're picking up one. How
you
many
were
times that
blaming him.
happened a day? That
Iggy,
flat, that what he did there on Saturday. How many times have we seen that?
Iggy,
Well,
Iggy.
let me ask a question.
Wait.
I want to ask a question, JP. I
I'm
want to ask
asking
a
a question, but no one's answering.
How
Yeah,
many
I told
times
you. I
have we
told you.
seen that?
I see this every
You
week.
see him
from
flapping the ball like that outside the area
yes.
every week.
No,
Every
in
week.
the area. In the area. In the area.
Every week he
Yeah,
does that. Every
yes.
week.
On corners, yes. On corners, yes.
Every week he
I
does
go
that.
to
No,
a game.
no. That's not a corner. That's an incident right there where he's come out to claim the ball and he's flapped it and he's gone out. You see that every week.
Okay, Iggy. No,
Another echo chamber.
I'm asking a question, man.
You don't let me answer. Let me answer it. right?
I'm waiting for an answer. I'm not getting one.
Okay, well, let me speak. I'll tell you. Right, this particular one, edge of the box. I think that's the first time I've seen him edge of the box. Normally, he does.
Stop!
No,
You've answered the question. You've seen it. It's the first time you've seen it happen. You just answered it. You just said it's the first time you've seen him flap outside the box.
Can I finish what I'm saying? Right. I see that exact same motion, that same jump through his fingers or flapping, whether it's edge of the box, which is the first time I've seen it. He will do that in the box. So whether he does it there or there, I don't care. He does it in dangerous situations. That's my point I'm making. He does it a lot.
But like I said, my question is, how many mistakes does he make that lead to goals?
If he gets away with it, James, he should have got a yellow.
Still,
Yeah.
you make a point. You make a point of putting stats up. So let's talk about stats because they're facts. He doesn't give away goals from shots or headers. You can't blame him for that goal. Look what
61
happened
goals
yesterday with Arsenal. Hang on.
All right. No,
With Edison.
I'll give you the stats. So the 61 goals we conceded last year, nothing to do with him. Not him.
He's part of it. Of course, he's a contributor. He's a
sounds
contributor.
like
Of course, the goalkeeper's a contributing factor to concede 61 goals. It's not all on him, though. It's the way that we play as well. We concede a lot of chances, which ultimately results. We say Van de Ven and Romero will walk in any team, but yeah, here we are talking about defense that concede 61 goals. But yeah, these three players, Udogie, Porro, they can walk in a lot of teams. Why they concede 61 goals if they're that good? Including the goalie.
Let me ask you guys a question. I want to ask my question.
It's because of the way we play. It's because of the style that we play in.
Absolutely.
I blame the way we
You don't seem
play.
to be giving him any responsibility.
Who? I just said he's part of the defense. No, I said it's. I'm said that he's part of that defense, which is he is also contributing. He's also part of that defense. So of course, he's going to have blame as well. But we say that we have defenders that would walk in a lot of teams in our Premier League, but here we are talking about the same very defense because they're all shit. No, perhaps if we vary the way we play, drop 10 yards, perhaps we might concede 1 or 2 goals less.
So if we drop 10 yards, Vicario he won't make all those flappy mistakes.
No, one sec, we will.
I'm waiting 15
If we play 10 yards back, perhaps teams, rather than playing in behind us because of the space that we leave behind, they might take more shots, which equals the keeper making more saves, which exposes his strengths rather than highlighting his weaknesses. Isn't that not part of the good players? If you have every player has weaknesses and strengths.
You also partly blamed him for that Arsenal goal last week, right? Because you said he backwards or something.
In that instance, if he's going to stay on his line and he gets a bullet head off of 5 yards, which is difficult to save anyway, the only thing I said he could have done, is stand up and try and let the ball hit him rather than flip back because he's trying to save it at close range, but he's diving backwards. And any keeper should never dive backwards.
I want to ask you all a simple question, right? This is nice and easy, and it will kind of maybe explain why I've brought up Vicario. When there are crosses into the box, forget the defense now, right? Just forget the defense. When there's crosses into the box, whether it's deep into the edge of the box or a set piece, corner, free kick, whatever, and when playing it out from the back, are you confident with Vicario? Do you feel like, yeah, I'm all right with him on the ball, or I'm all right with this ball being whipped in? Or does part of you think I'm a bit nervous about what might happen with him?
So I feel confident with him, yeah. The only thing I would say that I don't feel confident with is I don't think we actually have anybody in our team that can win header in the box. And I think that is one of the biggest losses about losing Harry Kane. Obviously, his goals, but the amount of defensive headers he did in our own box and took that away from Hugo Lloris was madness. Now, we don't really have that big header in the box. It's someone that's big, tall, strong, that wins those defensive headers. So, yeah, like I said, I think he could do work on coming and claiming, but at the same time, he's not being helped by no one.
Can I ask you one question?
I don't think.
No, you answer my question.
No,
Only
no,
James
all
answered
right.
it.
When we
Are
pass
you
the
guys
ball back,
confident
all
when the
right.
ball's
When
at
we
his
pass,
feet, we're playing it out from
when
the
we
back,
pass,
or the ball gets whipped?
when we pass the ball to Vicario, and he's looking to play someone, with the exception of Maddison, who drops in the hole, that's comfortable to receive the ball and go on a half turn, and start, or sometimes even Benton could, but even then he's been awkward when he does. A lot of our players perhaps in a sixth role, does not like to receive the ball facing their goal or back to the
So
opposition.
why doesn't he kick it long then, Iggy?
Because he's instructed by the manager to not
So
go
he's
long.
trying to do something that he's not good at.
JP, he should be.
If manager's not telling him to go long, because do you think he probably wouldn't want to go long? The manager's asking him to go and pick a player, to go and put a player on the six. None of our sixes like to pick up the ball back facing their goal. The only one that's comfortable doing it is Maddison, which is why sometimes he drops to collect anyway. None of us. So we don't have players that like to receive the ball.
To me, he has to take responsibility, Iggy, right? He has to say, okay, if he's hiding behind a defender, he's hiding behind
if I'm your coach, JP, if I'm your coach and I'm telling you, JP, as a goalkeeper,
and I'm
you
going
do
to
not
say
go long.
to you, I've got no one to kick it to.
Then that's something they need to sort out. It's not the goalkeeper's fault,
no,
because he's doing what he's instructed.
In the game, he's got to kick it.
But if he's instructed to go short, you're sent to kick it long. He's going against the manager's wishes.
If he can't give it to anyone,
so right here,
why is he trying to do little flips?
Right here, there's a centre back free. Why can't he play it to the centre back?
And he's got.
Listen, I have to see that play. I have to see that play. I have to see, because I know what happened, and he's gone on to make the save. I can't remember why he didn't play that ball and why he's chosen to.
Even then, Iggy, if he kicks it wide, Udogie can drop there to receive it still.
Udogie's not in a position to receive. I'm sorry, he's not.
No. If
perhaps he should go out to a throw. Yeah, he probably should go out on a throw at that point. He's got to get it.
He's focused on his feet. He's looking at the ball, and he ends up fucking it up.
I don't know why. I don't know why he's ended like that. What's that?
In the home game against Arsenal, I thought they were going to catch us doing that as well. Like I've said, I think he's one of the best shot stoppers in the league. I really do. You're right. The amount of games he saves us because of his shot stopping. But I'm worried. I'm worried when he's on the ball at the back. I'm worried when balls come in the box. I'm worried about the whole defense, by the way. Not just him, but he's part of it.
All right, now maybe, just maybe, we're getting somewhere.
But he's part of it, though. He's part of
that defense. But if we had a solid defense and we had a dodgy goalkeeper, say, right, we need to look at the goalkeeper here. But when you've got a setup that's all
we need
shaky,
to look at the goalie anyway, because his footwork isn't. He's just. I don't know what it is. He's not comfortable playing out the back. I don't think he likes it. I don't think he wants to do it.
Then you say to me, go and get a goalkeeper that can play ball to feet. It might not be as good as
shot stopper. This is what I'm saying.
But we are critiquing him. We're critiquing him, and that for me, I'm sorry, man, because if you look at it from his point, since his arrival, I'll bring it back to his arrival to now. If I look at the amount of games or how many points he's saved us in a game, and he's having to make one or two, not just routine saves, he's having to make one or two world saves every game, man. Every game, there's a moment that you think Vic's got to come through for us.
I agree with that. Listen, I agree
lose that game. How many games we would, like Brentford? We probably would have gone on to lose that game. We go on to lose that game.
But also, what we're saying here is we'd rather some.
Oh, that's all right then. Let him make.
No. But what we're saying is maybe we find someone that's better on the ball as a goalkeeper,
and then you'd be a shit keeper with his hands.
Yeah, which is all well and good. But then when they get put through 1-on-1 because we play a high line and they don't make that 1-on-1 save, we'll go, he's crap. For me,
with his feet.
But that's
For
the
me,
manager's
with his
fault,
feet.
right?
but
That's
for
the
me, you
manager's
can't have the best of Tottenham. Don't shop in that best of both
Listen,
market
if you don't
anymore.
want to sell to me, sell him tomorrow to go and buy another keeper that's better with his feet, so he can play from the back. If he ain't as good as shot stoppers, he's better than fine. You can debate. You can go and get whatever keeper you want. I'm not having us with all the problems that we had in our team. Go and look at the keeper and say we need to look at it. We need to look at it because he's dodgy. We say fuck off what he did last season. That was last season. We just basing him on 5 scheme. How many players in our team can we save? Can we save in the last 5 performances? How many? How many?
I'm with you,
But then
Iggy,
we
mate.
want to go and pick.
I'm with
We
you,
want to go
mate.
and pick up the goalkeeper when we got so many players in our team.
We're criticising Decky. We're criticising.
Yeah, of course.
all of
I'm
those.
not saying. I'm
Look
not
what they did
solving.
last
I'm not
season.
solving Vicario of any
It
blame.
sounds-
I'm
it
not.
sounds
No,
like that's
it
what you're
may
doing.
sound like I am, but I'm not. I'm telling you that I'm not. So I'm not. So I'm not saying he has things that he needs to improve on. I'm not saying that. But Vicario, for me, in this team, is one of our best players. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. And that's only my opinion, which is worth shit in the grand scheme of things. In my opinion, though, Vicario is one of our best players in the team.
I agree.
Me too. That's
He has qualities as a goalkeeper, brilliant shot stopper, like you said. Sure, there are things he needs to work on. Absolutely, there is. Leadership. I think he's a leader. I think he's a massive personality in our team, and we don't have a lot of them in our team. We have a lot. If nothing else, it shows us a bit of passion. The Italian connection. I don't know. This always gets thrown at me. This always gets thrown because that means I'm gonna. It doesn't matter. No one. Udogi cannot be criticised. Vicario cannot be criticised. Any Italian who ever wears our shirt.
over Anana.
Even though I said even though I said when we was linked to signing a goalkeeper, I said I wanted Raya. I said it. I think I'm doing videos about
we all
Raya.
said it at the time.
We all wanted Raya, but it didn't come.
In my
Raya's a good goalkeeper, but if Arsenal right now had a keeper half of Raya's quality, I think he still look good because of that defense he's got in front of him.
I don't know. Some of the saves I've seen.
I know. You don't know. I know though.
Coming off his
I know.
In my opinion,
coming off his line, he's 10 times better than Vicario. For set pieces, he comes off and he commands that ball. He's different.
Commands that box.
But in my opinion, if you was to swap, you said to me, for Tottenham, would you swap Raya for Vicario? I had no chance. In this Tottenham team.
How many of those worldly saves?
I'll take mine. I would take mine.
How many worldly saves, shot stopping saves, does Raya make every single game?
Every game.
How many? Worldly saves.
Did you see that?
Every game. Atalanta, Man City. What about the Brentfords? And when they play those teams, what I'm saying is, what level of teams that we play against, whether it's the top or bottom, he still has to make those worldly saves.
Raya makes world-class saves.
Raya is
the top teams.
I'm sorry.
If you let me,
I'm switching.
Raya makes those saves against teams on the same sort of level as Arsenal, Atalanta, Man City, those against the bottom teams. He probably doesn't. He probably has to make standard routines. Our goalkeeper, however, doesn't matter who he plays against. Doesn't matter who he plays against. He has to always make 2 worldly saves a game. Again, doesn't matter if it's Man City, Man United, if it's Brentford, Brighton. Doesn't matter if it's even a bottom team. He has to always make them because we give shitloads of chances to our opposition to score goals. Fact, man. It's a fact. It's a fact. He's tested every game.
Wow. Okay.
Murray, let's agree that we disagree on this because this is
cool. That's cool. But you cannot null and void my opinion on someone just because you disagree with it.
No, I'm saying we agree that we disagree. We agree that we all disagree.
But everyone's going, wow. But I'm like, that's my opinion. That's how I see it. Because I could turn around and go, every time you talk, you go, wow, fucking hell, wow. I don't do shit like that. I'm listening to what you're not saying, but respectfully, I disagree. I respectfully disagree. You guys are all up in arms because I've got a different opinion. That's fucked up, man.
No, you've missed. It's not fucked up.
That's fucked up, man. I don't go. I'm in there going, wow, fucking, I can't believe you fucking said that. You lot tonight, because I've got a different opinion, turned around and said, wow. No.
There's
That's all right.
something in the water. There's something in the water. There's something in the water.
I'm thinking Raya every day.
I'm on the Pepsi, so no water here, mate.
I said wow. I said wow when James Flower said I'd take Vicario over Raya. That's when I said wow. I was like,
100%.
wow.
That's his opinion. In his opinion, Vicario is better than Raya. So what? So what?
Yeah, so what?
I'm
So
amazed
what?
by it. I'm
So
amazed
what?
by it.
Why?
I'm taking
Why?
I think it's delusional.
Is Raya Spain's goalie? Does he play for Spain?
I think he's absolutely deluded. That's
Is he
why.
Spain's goalie? Is he Spain's goalkeeper? Number one. Is he number one for Spain?
Italy's goalie. Is Vicario Italy's goalie?
Donnarumma's in front of him. Who's the great Raya got in front? Who's the great Raya got in front of him?
I don't know. Who's the Spanish goalie? I don't know who is it.
Exactly. You would not have said that about Italy, though. You would have known it's Donnarumma.
The Real Sociedad keeper.
What's that got to do with Raya being better than Vicario?
No,
Can I?
If he's that good, he should be.
Madness.
Simon.
Right, no, Simon. There you go. You didn't know, now you know.
Still, you lit the you lit the touch paper, didn't you, with Vicario? The amount of comments and the chat.
I think it's insane. Ian, with all the problems that we got in our team, the average players we got in our team, we can't dig out our goalie. Fuck my life, man.
And you know what, Iggy? Nobody's come back and said Vicario was to blame for that. No one, and any individual goal. I'm sure there's probably been one or two that he was last season, but nobody has
we
actually
lose Vicario for a little while. And then we'll have the goalkeepers. We've got 4 goalkeepers.
No, because I know
we got Whiteman, we got Austin. No, we got Austin. We got Whiteman as well. It's not just Foster.
But Vicario's better than Austin.
With the defence that we got, we shouldn't have an issue. We just got to have a keeper that can come and claim every time.
No. Hold on. Now,
that's all we need. That's all the goalkeepers.
Now we've lost the plot. Now we've lost the plot. I never said Vicario is better than Austin, better than Gunter. I never said he's better.
Let's change it. Who would you like to see at Spurs?
Vicario
Who's out there right now that you would like to come at Spurs?
Vicario is. I wanted Raya, but Vicario is.
Who's out there right now that you can bring in to replace Vicario?
I don't know. I haven't gone scouting for it. That's what the point I'm making.
No. Forget other. You can't get Raya. Raya's at Arsenal. He ain't coming to Spurs.
You missed my point. My point is, I think
missing mine.
He's suspect for the way we play. What's wrong with saying that?
Then don't play that way until you have the players to play that way.
So still, is it fair to say though?
No, why are you taking like I'm blaming you for the way we play?
Because you lost it.
Instead of his fault because Tottenham play that way. Fuck you know. Look. You want to?
I'm never mentioning Vicario's name again.
No. This has come out of the fans forum tonight. This has come out of the fans forum tonight. Let me read this to you. A fan asked.
Can we get onto that subject?
Yeah. No. Let me read you this real quick.
I've already got it.
Let me read you this real quick. A fan as you got it. Bring it up, man. We can read it. We'll have a little laugh on that.
Can I just say one more thing?
James, say what you want to say. Then we're going to talk about the fan forum. Right, go for
it. So a lot of the stuff that you say is like Brennan Johnson doesn't score against any top 10 team, or blah 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 doesn't score against any top 10 teams. But when I ask you how many goals Vicario has conceded from his mistakes, you say not any, not many or any. Yeah. So you can criticize somebody for only scoring against bottom side teams. When I ask you to tell me how many goals he's at fault for, you say none, but then you can still criticize him. So that doesn't make sense to me because you're judging someone by fact. But then when I give you the opportunity to tell me that, you say not many and still criticize him.
Because I said he's getting away with it.
Why is he getting away with it?
Why is he getting away with it?
Why is it? When he got away with it on Saturday, but then he made up for it and he saved it. That was the first times. Still, we all thought Lloris, apart from the last 2 years, was a superb servant for Tottenham. Was it the 2018? He
was a brilliant shot stopper, like Vicario.
Was it the 2018 World Cup final? He was dispossessed. Was that the final? In a World Cup final, he
made a mistake.
He made a mistake.
I criticised him too.
Sure, no, but look at Pickford at Spurs this season. Sonny was 25 yards away when Pickford got the ball.
I don't rate Pickford.
No, they can all. Well, Pickford's a pretty good keeper. I wouldn't have him in front of Vicario, but he's
got shot stopping abilities, but he's another one who's a bit dodge.
I just think it's not fair to criticise somebody when someone says how many mistakes has he done that leads to a goal.
Right, he's
And
quality.
ultimately,
He's the best. What do you want me to say? He's amazing.
that's it. That's all I wanted to hear. Sweet.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
There you go.
Vicario's better than Raya. That's it. That's all I wanted to hear.
Absolutely.
He's not better than Raya. He's not better than Raya. You're not having
100%.
that.
That's all I wanted
You're not
to hear.
having that. No way. No way.
Vicario in. I bet you Raya has made more mistakes leading to goals than Vicario.
Listen, there's fans
Leading
out
to
there that
goals.
think our defenders
Leading to
our
goals,
defenders will
maybe,
walk into
Yeah,
the
thank you, JP. Yeah. So
And I
as
think
my goalkeeper, I want him to concede as less goals as possible. And Raya has probably made more mistakes leading to goals than Vicario.
100%. I think Stell's point is, while he makes those mistakes, he either covers for them or they don't finish it, right? So it doesn't lead to a goal.
Or someone
But
clears
those
it for him.
mistakes are still being made.
No.
Yeah.
Reyes here and Vicario's here. Then I'm sorry. If Vicario's good,
in your opinion.
Oh man,
Yeah.
please, can we change the
I actually
subject,
think.
man?
I think
In your
another. I
opinion.
think another stat.
Also,
Izzy,
Reyes could be named.
Stell, fan
In
forum.
your opinion, there's that difference. In your opinion.
Probably for player of the year. He could honestly.
It's like some people think that Romero and Van de Ven are a better partnership than Gabriel and who's the other fella?
Okay.
Saliba. Again,
So
in
who's
their
got better
opinion, I
passing?
disagree with that.
Iggy, I
Who's
think
got
they
better
are.
passing,
It's the
Raya or
goalkeeper's
Vicario?
fault.
Who's got better passing, Raya or Vicario?
I think they're both pretty poor. I think they're both pretty poor.
So facts are Vicario has better passing complete rated than Raya. Who's got better shot stopping rated stats?
I don't know.
Vicario. So what I'm saying is he's better on the ball. He's better at saving shots.
Okay,
Less mistakes leading to goals.
No.
But yeah, we're going to put somebody else because he plays with
do you know
Gabriel,
what you're doing there, though?
Saliba, Ben White.
What you're doing there, though, what you're doing there, right? This is what fans.
Facts.
Right, what you're doing there.
Stats and facts.
No. What's the context? I need to see the context to those stats. 'Cause what you're doing here is, this is like when people say, "Oh, but Richarlison scored 13 goals and they were all against fucking Southampton and Ipswich." Whoopie do, right? This is what we're doing now with Vicario. I want to see the context of it. Show me Vicario's performance against the top 10, against Ray's performance against the top 10, and I bet you see it's very different. It's a very different conversation.
How can you judge that when one's got a world-class front back four, and we've got
context? You want
61
context?
goals
Look at the
conceded.
defense. Look at the defense in front.
Context.
Arsenal's
Look at the
defense
defenders.
compared
Because
to the
I
Spurs
watch
defense.
Vicario having his glove pulled, and he's like, "Stop it, stop it!" Right?
Fans forum.
Ray's not having that.
That's a
Ray's not
ridiculous
having that.
response. It's a
It's not a
ridiculous response.
No, because that led
You're
to a goal.
only as good as
That led to
player.
Arsenal scoring a goal against us last season.
Is a player as good as the players that he's got around him? Yes or no?
Not always, because Gareth Bale was sensational.
but
He wasn't in
sometimes.
the best Tottenham team, was he?
What's
No.
that? Who?
Gareth Bale was sensational. He wasn't in the best Tottenham team.
But
So no.
how's that in the context of what
Because
we're
he's
talking
class. He'll do it anywhere. He'll do it at any point. Quality players, they show it no matter what team they're in.
But I think Vicario's been a quality
Sol
player for us.
Campbell was excellent at Spurs. What a shit team he was in, though. Ledley King was mustard for Spurs.
But how
What a
much
shit
better was
fucking
he
team
when he went to a better team?
Huh?
How much better was he when
Now
he
you
went
changed
into
the question. Now you've moved the
No,
goalpost.
no, it's not. It's not.
Change
A
the
good
question.
player, but did he go on to be better playing around better players? It's the context I'm talking
Of
about
course,
now.
everyone's better around better players.
Stop.
What do you mean stop?
Stop.
No, I'm not
Stop.
going
You've answered the question that I'm looking for.
Can we
You've
just all
answered it.
agree that we disagree? I really want to move it on because
Move it on. There's no need to ask that question. Just move it on already.
Name, I would never. If he concedes a goal against Man United, I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not even going to talk about it.
Good.
We're going to do it.
Good. Don't do it then.
I won't. I promise.
When you got Franco Baresi, Paolo Maldini, and you got them boys in front of him, and he's still playing shit, then I'll be like, you know what? You might have a point here, you know that. Then I'll come back here, humble myself, and say, you know what? We've got quality at the back now. He's fucking shit. Get rid of him. Different. It's different, man.
Do you know what? Right. I'll tell you what.
That's
Before
what
we
I'm
go to
saying,
the fan
man.
forum, listen, I'm going to completely change the subject now. I'm going to ask you I'm going to ask you a question, right? I've got a question for you. Here we go.
No more questions.
No, you like this one. Which is the only team to have a 100% record winning all their first 11 games in top flight English football? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Man City didn't win, and Arsenal didn't win on the weekend, it means that this record remains intact.
Is it Leicester?
Nottingham Forest.
There's only one team ever in the history of English football, top flight.
1961.
Say again?
1960-61.
Correct.
There you
Tottenham
go.
Hotspur 61 double team.
Yep.
How's about that, boys? You like that, don't you?
Who's their keeper
That's
back
right.
then?
Bill Brown.
Iggy.
I bet he was
Big
good
up,
in the
Iggy.
end, though.
Look at the size of that badge. Look at the size of that badge on the goalkeeper's shirt. Massive compared to everyone else.
Speaking about goalkeepers, I actually saw Pat Jennings at the weekend as well. His hands are freaking massive.
What does he think of
They are, aren't they, JP? Enormous.
It was sitting in a prawn sandwich. Is it the prawn sandwich fan? JP, hey, guys in the chat, give him hell in the comments. Give him hell in the comments. JP was eating with a prawn sandwich fan this weekend. JP was leaving officially.
All right.
I bet Levy was in the seat next to you.
Let's get to his comments because I'm laughing. I'm laughing.
We'll do it.
Fans Forum. I heard there were some great questions.
We're gonna wrap up.
So much for Echo Chambers, boy.
I've got a headache.
So much for Echo Chambers, boy. So much for Echo Chambers here tonight.
Echo Chambers, fucking me.
Mention Vicario and all Helga breaks loose.
It was. I blame you. It was the fans forum tonight at Tottenham Hotspur, where a hand-picked, cherry-picked, strategically chosen group of Spurs fans. They might not even be Spurs fans. They might just be family members of the board, just told to wear Spurs shirts and rock up. But this is what was said. This is the initial stuff that's been released from the fan forum before we went live tonight. So it's all I've got so far. I'm sure there's more, but I'll quickly go through it and then we can discuss. So there's 3 things that came out of it that I managed to grab hold of. The first one was Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy. He was questioned about getting criticism from fans, and his response was, "I have a very thick skin. I just ignore it. It makes me want to be more successful." The question is, what success have you achieved?
Bank balance.
The next thing, he was asked about his top 3 achievements as chairman: getting to the Champions League final, opening the new stadium, and the fantastic players that he had at his club. No mention of the League Cup that we won in 2008.
That should have been number 1 on his list.
And Ange Postecoglou was asked, "Is it time to show some more pragmatism in games? Teams that win trophies have solid defenses as well as attacks." And Ange's response was, "You're spot on, mate, but it won't be us."
He's agreed with him. He's agreed with him. He's agreed. The first bit, he's agreed with him, saying, "You're actually right, you know, mate. That ain't happening."
Listen, Murray, let's do this one first. What do we make of this? Levy's saying, it just criticism from fans just makes me want to be more successful. Successful at what?
Just
Murray,
he's not obviously talking. Yeah, he's not obviously talking about on-field success. It's clear.
Yeah, he's literally like, if they're gonna screw at me, I'll just build another building and piss them off.
He's not.
Yeah,
it's nothing to do.
No, you didn't read the rest of that statement. It says, "As much as success, there is a Spurs way, and I won't deviate from that." What the fuck is the Spurs way? What has the Spurs way won? What has the Spurs way won? 1 trophy in 25 years. This guy a fucking idiot. I mean, again, you're spot on, but it won't be us. As much as we want success, there is a Spurs way. I won't deviate from that. What? Spurs way? What? We haven't won the Premier League in over 50 years. What Spurs way? Losing?
You know what? And when I hear those words, man, it just comes across and just sold out, man.
He's lost it. He's lost it.
It's sold out, man. It's sold out.
Listen, guys, hold on. Let's look at the second comment. Let's look at the second.
I wonder if he's
right?
I wonder if he's having a dig at. I wonder if he's having a dig at Levy there.
Nah, man, it's sold out. And with those
Okay. We've got onto this one, so let's discuss this one. Right. So
you got to put the whole.
That's our manager, man. That's our manager talking like that. If you can't tell me that after reading those words and what he's just said, and these are quoted, he's sold out, man. By that, telling us you're right. What you guys are saying is right, but I'm not going to go down that way. I'm going to go down the Spurs way. So Spurs way isn't the winning.
He never said Spurs way.
No,
what Mari said is what Mari said.
There's a follow up to that.
There's a follow up to that.
Mari. Okay, sorry, Mari. Can you read it? Can you read it out so we can all hear them?
It's on the group still. If you get it from the group,
Mari's got it. Mari's reading it. You got it.
Quote.
Just read it out.
It's time to show more pragmatism in games. Teams that win trophies have solid defenses as well as attacks. This is what last one of Spurs who posted this. Ange Postecoglou's response is, "You're spot on, mate, but it won't be us. As much as we want success, there is a Spurs way. I won't deviate from that." What the hell is
Can I like how I would like express my frustration is with Daniel Levy there, and not taking it away from Ange, because Ange shouldn't be saying that. But imagine like you're an owner of your business. I say for like me, I own my own business and I'm a plumber. If my apprentice or someone worked for me said, "Yeah, what I'm going to do is change the taps, but I'm not going to turn the water off. I'm going to do it my way," I'll turn around and go, "Are you fucking winding me up? Do it properly." So the fact that he's saying, "Look, yeah, we should be defending,"
he's sold out, man.
But I'm not going to do that because this isn't how we work here. And Levy's there going, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." He's not there to win.
Graham is right. Spurs way was 63
years ago.
I
wonder if he is having a dig at Levy though, in fairness, because like literally what he's telling the world is there is a Spurs way and I won't deviate.
I agree, Sava.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, though, JP. Because if he's saying, "Yeah, there's a winning way, but I'm going to do it the Spurs way,"
what the fuck is that? At least go on to say,
"No, but that means
the Spurs way."
That's what I'm saying. Is that a slight dig though to say, "Yeah, you can win it by doing that way, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing it what Spurs want me to do."
But James, the question was, teams that win trophies have solid defenses as well as attacks.
No, you're missing the point. You're missing the point, Mari. Listen to what JP said. JP said, is he saying it? Like he said, yes, that is the way you should go. But I'm doing it the Spurs way. So he said, yeah, that's what you should do to win.
No big
but I'm doing it the Spurs way. What Daniel Levy wants me to do. I'm doing what Daniel Levy wants me to do. That's how you win. Then? But I'm doing what Levy wants me to do.
If that is the case, my question will be, why is Ange Postecoglou at this club? If he isn't,
because he's earning good money and he's doing whatever Levy asks him to do.
My point is right. He's sold out.
You know why, Iggy? Because Scott Munn brought him in. That's why he's at the club.
So he's sold out.
Yeah,
so I'm right.
Scott Munn brought him in.
I'm right to sell. So it doesn't matter to me now whether Ange Postecoglou stays. From this moment on, it matters little whether he stays or goes, because the same shit will be served to another manager. So it doesn't matter. People that say they should stay, or say it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, after the ones that wouldn't sell out, i.e. Conte, Jose, and stuff like that, the only managers will get here on moving forwards are the ones that are quite content picking up their wages, rightly so, the contract, and doing it the Spurs way, which is not the winning way. I've got the picture now. If I didn't have before, this tonight has just confirmed it.
From what I've understood from those comments, it's three things. Number one, Levy doesn't give a shit about Silva. It's just not in his remit.
Yeah. 100%.
Number two, I think Levy and Ange is almost a marriage made in heaven. They both suit each other. And
sleeping with the devil.
And Ange will say whatever fans just. I think he knows how to say what needs to be said to the fans, because I've got this feeling most fans will look at those Ange comments and their response is going to be, "My manager, that's my manager."
He doesn't represent me.
I do. I think most I don't mean necessarily us here, Iggy, or people in the comments watching the show. I think for a lot of fans on social media, you're going to hear "my manager," Tottenham in his soul. That's what I think is going to end up being the response. It's PR. It's brilliant PR again. And most
Do you know
fans
what?
will-
I ain't gonna lie, boys. That statement is completely fucking flat and be bad, because it ain't like I'm shocked to hear it or even surprised for the matter, but to actually read it as quoted by a manager, that's the message he sent out. 5 games. What are we? 23rd of September.
He's been told to say it as well, hasn't he? It's obvious. He's
Bollocks,
been
man. We didn't have to say
Yeah,
shit.
he's getting
Didn't have
rinsed.
to say
He's
shit.
not word on Spurs. He's getting
Big
rinsed.
up Last Word on Spurs, friends of our channel. Go there, subscribe. Big supporters of them. They are massive supporters of us. Go there and subscribe, because Spurs community, we're all as one, man.
Yeah,
The fact-
we
the
are.
fact
They are
ticket-
going to be on our channel at some point before.
I
2030.
agree. I
Or
agree.
maybe we'll go in theirs if we
And
invite
we'll be on
us,
theirs
but
before
we'll give
2040.
them the props.
We give you.
I
We give you
agree.
Well,
Hopefully
I
they'll
agree.
do the same for us in their channel. Give us props.
I
fans,
agree.
fans who got a ticket for tonight were given, I think, 5 or 6 days to send in their questions. Everything was vetted.
Yeah,
Everything was handpicked. I mean, I saw, was it Davina on Twitter saying she had a ticket? I mean, she had a ticket last year as well.
Ian, I'm
You know-
just gutted and not a single fan in there said, okay, that's brilliant, Ange. Can you give us a full explanation of what the Spurs
They're not
way
allowed,
is? That's the
Diggy.
question.
It's all
Not allowed to.
pre-scripted, pre-planned.
But I will say I want to dig deeper in a little this Spurs way. Can you give us an insight of what this Spurs way is?
You'd be shut down straight away.
Shut down. So have
You
I asked
would have
something?
been shut down
What
straight away
have I asked that's so offensive that it needs to be shut down straight away?
because it doesn't suit them
It's.
to answer it.
I agree with.
It's not the question they want to answer, really.
Correct.
That's the
That was-
problem.
They should have got a guy in there that said, "I can see you, you can see me." That's what they should have got in there.
And the thing is,
Instead, we got this, Murray. Murray, we got this. We got this instead.
Simple. We've got our Tottenham back. That's
You know what?
No,
I hear
it's
the applause. No, hold on. You know, when you watch that back, watch
Simple.
that back again, you hear the applause, but when you're looking at the people seated, I'm not seeing anyone applauding apart from maybe one. So where's this round of applause?
Speakers in the background. Just
Look, watch it back. Whenever I'm hearing a round of applause,
I know what you mean. I know exactly.
but
what you
where's the
mean.
applause coming from when the crowd in front of you, there's maybe 1 or 2 clapping? So you should only hear 2 claps. Where's this rip and roar of applause? So if you watch it back, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, man.
Look, there were so many questions. So many. Where's the museum? Where's the statues? What about the discounts for the season ticket holders? What about
they just got rid of the senior supporters, senior concession. That's all gone.
Why are you charging the Europe's highest ticket prices when you don't put the top players on the pitch? There's so many questions.
You know what?
Yeah, but
You know
all
what?
of that-
Ilmatic is right, man. Ilmatic is the one that commented before. He's absolutely bang on with that.
All of that is accepted
your
if you
club,
win
mate.
things. You have to do things the proper way, not the Tottenham way.
Coverage of the event will be available on Tuesday.
that response is so discouraging.
It's been edited.
Anyone else feel like there's a turn in the way this stream went, and even in the comment, it's completely
Yeah,
turned.
but it hasn't affected me one bit because I'm
That's an effective, baby. It's just
I've accepted what this club is about. Like they can't affect me.
I
you know?
haven't. I
It
haven't.
is just so discouraging.
It's hard, man. It's not me.
Listen,
Hard.
It's so discouraging.
Okay.
So
The reason look. The reason I know this is going to go down really well. Whether you like it or not, and this isn't a personal dig. This is fans are allowed. They're allowed to be who they want, right? Sonny, respect to him. He's one of the only people that actually came on this channel with Barnaby to debate us. But the videos he puts out, and silences his critics because we beat Brentford. Loads of people were like that, and there's many like him, like the Bens, the Mitches, the other channels, the Cowlings. They will do similar because they know that's what fans are most in search of. So when Ange says we're not going to do it that way, we're going to do it the Tottenham way, millions are going to love that because most fans, and they're allowed to love it. It's just people like me, I'll speak on behalf of myself. I just think it's a fucking joke. You know, I think it's madness because it doesn't work. So I think the club know what kind of message to put out to the fans to get them on board. And I think there's a lot of content creators, fans that have got Twitter accounts that aren't content creators, people that do podcasts. They know what kind of message to put in their videos to keep that audience on board as well. And it's all kind of one circle of, you know, we're a family, we're a community. Let's all say the same thing. Where we're different, and a few other channels, is we question it. We're prepared to challenge it. And we'll come with some facts, with some stats. We're ready to have a good debate on it as well. We're not scared to go there. But for most fans, I think what Andrew said is going to go down top thumbs up from a lot of fans. I really do.
I can only speak for myself. So and I was Andrew.
Really quickly, someone next to saying Daniel Levy's top three. This his top achievement from those three was losing in the cup final. That was number one, getting to the Champions League final. Sorry,
yeah, because it made the most money, JP. That made the most money of anything. Right. What made more money?
Winning a silverware in 2008 not fit in there. How's
From,
the winning a trophy in 08?
From my point of view, I was obviously Angie, and I was like, let's back him and see where it goes. And to be honest, that what he said there is almost like, I'm going to do it the Tottenham way. I don't really care. I'll do what I'm told, to be honest. And this is how we're going to go. This is the route we're going to go down. He's obviously not getting no criticism, or Tottenham is in Levy ain't questioning nothing. Because if he says, yeah, that's the way to win, but that's not the Tottenham way. I've never seen Tottenham play like this, to be honest. So this is a new Tottenham way to me.
Never seen them so open defensively, ever. Yeah, which, you know, it's not a surprise we're letting 61 goals last season.
So you don't blame Vicario?
Good defenders. Obviously, Vicario was to blame for all of them. We need new owners. We're desperate for new owners. New owners with ambition. You know, listen, there's never any guarantee. There's never any guarantee that you're going to win trophies. But let's have new owners who are a mix of a fan and an accountant, and there's balance. You know, so at least we're in the game. At least, you know, we got a chance of competing. You know, we used to years ago. I know people turn around and say, "Oh, you're old school. What are you talking about?" Well, I was there when we were competing. We were buying Gascoignes, and we got Klinsmann, and we brought Ozzy and Ricky in, and we had Greaves, and we had, you know, Gaza was transfer record. It's a joke.
Ian, you know the problem is that Daniel Levy's going to be selling the club, so he's going to be pitching it as a business. So the only people that come in are going to be business-minded people. He's not going to be going, yeah, you know what, I want to sell it to someone who wants to win the league. He's going to be selling all the business side of things. So look at this, we're building this. Look at the stadium. Look at the training ground. Don't you want to be part of this business? And then they're going to go, yeah, this is a good business opportunity. I think no one's going to buy that off of him. He's not going to sell it to anyone that wants to win football matches.
James, what you need are people like the City owners or Abramovich, where they've got so much money, it's a hobby. And that's what you need. Maybe who knows? Maybe Staveley will come in with her people. They'll get X amount of money. You know, Lewis is 87. Even if he doesn't already, he's going to want to get out at some stage.
I think for
me, that's when our club comes alive again. Hopefully, because he's sucked the life out of this club for 23 and a half years. This isn't not just him, Lewis as well. It's Enoch. It's their whole philosophy of
Capel Horn, a lot of them. Look, guys, I think I'm going to do a show on the fan forum tomorrow. Actually, I'm just going to do a fan forum show because there's going to be more to come out of it, and it deserves a show. I just wanted to get a brief reaction from it, but before we do wrap it up, I do want to ask you all one thing. We do have the Carabag Spurs match late night show Thursday. But what I want to do,
carry a bag,
the Sainsbury's carry bag. We've also got a show the weekend after we play Man United, and I want to ask everyone very quickly, just a prediction of the Man United game. What you think it's going to be, and then we'll wrap it up. Iggy, what do you think? Spurs away to Man United? What are you thinking?
Do you know what? On the back of what I've just heard, man, who gives a shit? Honestly, like, it's like my head's gone, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, boys. My head's gone on that one. Maybe I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be in that mindset. And nothing, like you rightly say, nothing about it should surprise me in any way or form. But man, you know what? I'm a fan after all of that. After all is said and done, after all this screaming said and done, after all of the stuff that we do and say, but ultimately we're fans, man. And that's, as a fan, even though I'm not shocked, for some reason it's just completely and utterly floored me. Like, because nothing, you know, you say it all the time, nothing has changed.
Just say two numbers. Just say two numbers then, and then we'll use that as a score.
But in regards to the Man United game, if for the argument of what we've been talking about the whole time, if we're going to add any kind of continuation to if we actually, let me just entertain the Ange Ball conversation. If there's that such thing exists, we need to turn up in these games and do something that we hardly ever do, and actually put in a really good performance, equaling a positive win. Do I think we're gonna win? I don't know. I'm gonna probably say like 2-2. That's my
2-2. A few people have said 2-2 in the chat actually. JP, what are you thinking?
Yeah, man, we're gonna win. It's going with the same way. So we beat Coventry. Hat-trick. It's going to be a hat-trick for Brennan. Scored at Coventry, scored against Brentford. He's going to bag one. Momentum's going up. 1-0 to Man United.
Do you know what? I actually thought, where's JP going with this? I don't know what he's going to say. All right, so we got a 2-2. We got a 1-0 to Man United. Murray, what do you think? Man United aren't scoring. They're struggling, in front of goal.
Yeah, they're not scoring. They're struggling. We're going to Old Trafford.
Yeah, but this Dr. Tottenham's coming.
Which, other than the COVID year, where we won 6-1, like we're going to Old Trafford. I honestly think after the high of beating Brentford, there's going to be a low. Unfortunately, I think I could see 1-0 United.
Another 1-0 United, yeah.
I think they'll hit us. Actually, they'll hit us on the counters, and I think they'll be able to score. I'll say.
Can I say one thing to you? Can I say one thing to you and JP? Right, we scored away at Leicester, we scored away at Coventry, and we scored away at Newcastle. Do you honestly think we're not scoring at Old Trafford? And we scored 2 there last year. We scored 2 there last year with Højbjerg and Skip in a double pivot.
We're not good. We're not good on the road. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, I'll change my score. I have 2-0 United.
Yeah, well done, still.
Where's the logic? How did you get to 2-0 for me telling you we always...
He changed his mind still.
Just being honest. I'm just being honest.
So, all right, we've got a 2-2, a 1-0 to United, a 2-0 to United. Iggy, what you thinking?
United, I said 2-2.
Oh, sorry. I mean, beg your pardon. James, sorry.
I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs, Vicario masterclass.
Do you know what?
Tim Howard says the opposite. So
now you're just trolling me. Now I'm just getting trolled.
I'm telling you, 2-0 Vicario masterclass, and then I want an apology on the show afterwards. And you know what? I'm sorry.
We have to watch to see if he makes any mistakes.
Yeah.
I want you. No, okay. I want you on this show on Sunday night.
All right.
Sunday night
or next Monday. Sunday night or next Monday. You have to be here. You pick.
Two clean sheets in the next 2 games. Watch.
Clean sheet. You've lost your mind, Ian. What you got? We've got 2-2. We've got 1-0 United, 2-0 United, 2-0 Tottenham.
I'm going to go with my heart here. Johnson and Solanke and a masterclass from Vicario 2-0.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Proper Spurs fans.
Yeah, deluded.
Probably
No
am.
comment.
Probably
We've
am.
got our Tottenham back.
Yeah.
Right. I think.
No, you prediction.
Yeah.
What are you
Can
doing?
you imagine if Johnson has a blinder and Vicario on the other end? What are people going to talk about?
Oh,
Seriously, it's going to be. Still won't have a podcast that week, will he?
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
I'm
I
going-
do
I
hope
feel hiding.
I do
Right,
hope he
yeah.
scores.
He'll be gone. He'll be gone. He'll be.
No, I'll be here, mate. I'm always here. I'm always here for it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Listen, I don't run away, me. I'm gonna go 2-1. 2-1.
Boo.
cool.
Tails Tottenham. Heads United. Tails Tottenham. 2-1 Tottenham.
I think you're being
Who's gonna
asked from
score?
Vicario there.
That basically
Absolutely.
means I haven't got a clue what's going to happen. I've got no idea what's going to happen.
Vicario.
Fuck them.
You know
I think-
what?
do
I
you know
genuinely think, though. I think that the game is won and lost on Casemiro. If Ugarte plays and Casemiro's dropped, I think it's going to be a different game to if Casemiro plays. I think that is going to be the key.
I don't think we're going to win.
He's gone, isn't he?
We're going to win.
He's
I
gone.
don't think we're going to
Casemiro.
I think.
Yeah, I think James Maddison against Casemiro. I think it actually could be a big scoreline for us, but I don't think he'll play.
Do you know what? I'm going to go
person
2-1
we
Man
didn't talk
United.
about-
I go
one person
2-1
we
Man
didn't talk
United.
About
There's
the
I think there's a
weekend
late
was
winner.
what's his name? Bentancur. I thought he had a really good game.
He did,
Well,
yeah.
Actually,
but he's going to be suspended. 12 games.
When did that
I'm
kick in?
going 2-1 Man United. I'm going 2-1 Man U.
Lip flop.
you know what, JP? Funny, no one's mentioned that. I thought he was superb
Yeah.
Saturday, Bentsenko.
He had a good game Saturday.
That was his best game since
Played
his.
really well.
And another one who turns up against the bottom 10. Another one.
He had a
The
good
only-
game,
the only
man.
one-
Cheery.
The only one who didn't have a particularly good game, I thought, was Porro.
Vicario.
No, Porro.
Yeah, no. He didn't go up the line a lot, did he?
I'd love to see Spence given a chance. I really would.
I don't think Spencer's going to play in this game. I don't think the kids are going to feature at all in this
I
game.
can't,
At all.
no, you're right. I can't see it. And you know, listen, for Spence not to be in the Europa squad and not even to start against
Crazy,
Coventry. I mean, it was mad. That was crazy.
Johnson hat trick we've got here.
There you go.
Well, listen, you've got your predictions, guys. You've got. What did you go for? Did you go 2-0, Ian, or was it 2-1?
2-0. 2-0 Spurs.
So you got
Heart
2-2
overhead.
draw. Listen, you never know. We've got a 2-2 draw. We've got a 1-0 United, a 2-0 United, a 2-0 Spurs, another 2-0 Spurs, and I'm going 2-1 United. That just goes to show none of us have got a clue. Like, there's no. It's just. And in the comments, it's the same. Everyone's predicting all random results, so it's a difficult one to predict. But guys, Iggy, JP, Mari, James, Ian, thanks for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it.
Good show. Big up to A User, twice, Faz, Isaac. Thank you for your super chats. Big up everyone in the chats and the comments tonight. You guys were fantastic. Appreciate you all. We will be back on Thursday night, and we'll be back on Sunday night for the post-match shows analysis. Maybe Mari does a show this week. I don't know. And
Yeah.
Iggy will have. You doing one on Mari? You can't do it on Thursday because we're playing Karabag.
No. I was going to try to do it for Wednesday.
All right.
Okay.
No Thunders Hours might be on Wednesday. There you go.
Yeah.
So
Still,
lastly,
here's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Here's a
I
good-
forgot. Sorry, guys. I forgot. We need to pay our respects to this man, Schillaci, legend. Any of you that grew up in my era, you will know Italian 90 was the greatest ever, and
Yeah.
he was one of the stars that lit up the stage. Passed away in his 50s. Really tragic. And I know Iggy, you wanted to speak about it.
yeah, man. For me, we've spoken many a times. Italian 90 was huge when I was a kid. Probably one of the first World Cup that I lived Like I fully lived from beginning to end. I remember just about everything from that. But obviously, on a subject, he was a top striker. One season in Serie A led him to get a late call up for the Italy squad. Was only supposed to play a big part role. Ended up being a star. He was given an opportunity and he took it with both hands. Every time he scored, for those who remember, he had this incredulous look, like he couldn't believe what was happening to him. He just looked like, I can't believe I just scored in the World Cup. He ended up doing it for another 6 times, ended up top goal scorer, golden ball of the World Cup and golden boot. It's just unbelievable fairy tale, and that was a rag to riches sort of story. And as an Italian, a Sicilian, especially because he's the only Sicilian that represented Italy in that, and still to this day there's not been another one. So for us, is there more a case of pride, and he's an icon, an absolute World Cup icon. That doesn't matter. He would always be a legend, a World Cup legend. He would always be remembered for those. And an incredible striker, by the way, and hungry. It's just a shame we don't get any more players like that hunger in their eyes. But yeah, great.
We don't get the characters in football anymore, do we?
Yeah, that was an absolute character. There were so many characters in that World Cup. He wasn't just the only one. There were so many that came through. Gaza came through. Baggio came through. Remember Thomas? There were so many quality. Mateus,
Rudy Volla.
It was so. I mean, Roger Miller in his 40s.
Maradona
in his 40s. Yeah, just incredible.
I tried that one.
The list goes on. And
I cried.
Van Basten played that.
My beloved Argentina
made it to the final. Probably the weakest of the 4 semi-finalists, but they made it there again. And it was a great World Cup with so many heroes in so many icons. And it was just the talent. This is what I'm saying. Like the talent in that World Cup. It was incredible, and like
it was one of the best, wasn't it? I mean, for me, growing up as a kid, 1970 was fantastic with the Brazilians. That was great. And 1990 was wonderful. I mean, listen, it helped that we got through to the semi-finals, obviously. But,
listen, a legend of that World Cup. It will always be remembered for his wide-eyed celebrations. Rest in peace, and obviously his family. He's only 59. Lost his battle to colon cancer, and sadly, it's just tragic that another great loss so young as well. Didn't even get to live. Sad, but big up, man. Totò, big up, Totò.
Still, who do you think could get the first 11 on Thursday? Correct.
Do you know what? I was gonna do it, but I'm not gonna bother because God knows we could be here all night just doing this first 11. I think it's gonna be Coventry part 2, but not as much as.
I think there'll be a few more seniors in there.
Foster and goal. No, I don't think. I don't think there'll be as many changes as Coventry. I honestly don't believe that.
Iggy, haters will always hate, man. Vicario all the way. Haters will always hate.
I don't think. I think Van der Ven and Romero, Vicario, those players. I think they'll all play. I don't think
Romero won't. He's suspended.
Oh, is he suspended?
Yeah.
Well, great opportunity for Dragusin. So yeah, man.
Ben Davies, bring it on. Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there.
Archie Gray all the way, Saba.
Listen,
what a spot Gaza for most players, Saba. What a player Gaza was, eh?
We have to do a show just Archie Gray. We'll get Ian in one corner, Savin in the other. Smash the likes, everyone. Thanks for watching tonight. Big up to the panel. Big up to the super chats. Big up to Schillaci, RIP. Guys, we'll be back Wednesday and Thursday and Iggy's morning shows and on the weekend. Thanks for watching as always. Well, I'm probably going to do a fan forum show tomorrow, so check that out at some point. Otherwise, thanks for watching as always. God bless you all, and we're out of here. Come on, you Spurs.
Cheers, everyone. Come on, Spurs.
The first game we look for, Robbie. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away. Tottenham away. When we got Tottenham away.